Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Triforce Tactics podcast. I'm not going to introduce it as a team fight tactics, whatever it was, talk show, whatever I introduced last time. It's Triforce Tactics. And so this week, you might notice there is someone missing. Jirachi is not able to be here this week. They have a concert, and so it is going to be myself, Spicy Appies, and the Stimmy Bros, who really need no introduction on Kevin's channel, but if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourselves, you can start, Dax, if you like.
Well, me and Ramen Kevin, Mr. Ramen Kevin, we are the Stimmy Bros. I mean, Kevin, you want to tell them how we all came to be and how we became the Stimmy Bros?
Oh yeah. So basically, this will bleed into our first question a bit, but Dax was feeling lonely because of certain reasons, And we started doing some duos on the NA ladder.
Did he know? Did Alex say
unofficial duos. We'll see. We'll see when he gets back. Basically, Dax and I became the greatest duo that NA has ever seen by break even LP every single game. I don't think we gained LP for over a week.
I'm surprisingly consistent.
Consistently low challenger, high GM. But yeah, I honestly don't remember. It's been like, it hasn't even been that long. Like one or 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks. We haven't played
really?
2 weeks, give or take.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been watching the Stimmy Bros streams for my entire life.
Yeah, it feels like a household name at this point.
No, it does.
Everyone knows us.
Yeah.
Classic.
We did a whole artwork and everything.
It's true. Things, time flies when you're running it down on ladder
with a homie. The homie part's very important there, I think.
Indeed.
Because time definitely does not fly if you're like running it down on an 8-hour stream and it's just 8, and you just like you can't stop because you need to get one top 4 before you end. But every game is just you dig your hole a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Dax, you want to just give a little background on like your history with TFT?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I started playing TFT back in set 1. Never really took it seriously up until like pretty much like set 4.5 actually. When I actually like wanted to play for qualifiers and I wanted to play for worlds, and I made it to qualifiers. And I made it to the very last stage, and I decided to play fortunes, and then I lost. And that was kind of awful because like I was like, I was like this close to making it to worlds, and then I didn't make it. I was like, okay, PG, I'll just make it in set 5. Then set 5 dropped, and I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, nah, I don't really want to play for set 5, and I dipped and I played like Pokemon up until like 5.5 came out, and then I came back. So that's pretty much like my competitive history in terms of like teamfight tactics. I mean, I met Alex in 4.5 and then we hit it off, which is going to bleed into our first question. But Alex has since left me, and I've been very lonely. But Ramkev is a homie. He's the rebound, so it's been good. It's been
you
real
can
good.
call him the rebound.
Oh my god!
No, but I mean, you call a spade a spade. I mean, he's been a good one though. It's been a good one. It's been a good rebound.
Okay. Kevin Ramen, he's not a rebound. He's a heart healer. He's
true.
like
I'm a guru.
He's the chocolate after the breakup, but you just you don't stop eating it.
Yeah, I mean, me and Mr. Ramen Kevin, we really hit it off on ladder, and we hit it off. Like we used to be friends like back in like 4.5, but I feel like our bond has gotten a lot stronger recently ever since we started playing together.
Yeah,
we've been
it's a good time.
Yeah, we've been very close homies. Ever since I chomped his Nocturne 3 with my Nunu 3.
Oh my god! Let's not talk about that. That's terrible.
So I mean, I had a casual Nunu 3-star, and he was playing Nocturne 3.
This guy put his Nunu right in front of my Nocturne.
I put him in the back line casually, just like a casual player would. And I double chomped his Nocturne, and he went 8th. That's what homies do.
Yeah, that's Kevin's fault. Obviously, that's... Anyway, before we get into our questions, we can just talk a little bit about life in general. So we can just discuss our weeks. I can start. My week's been my week has been just a battle with my ISP. I swear I'm just duking it out every day, and I'm just getting like more and more and worn down by losing internet in the middle of the day over and over again. So today, I was telling Dax with this on his stream earlier. I looked like I win traded Robin. So I was I was like I played like this was my second game of the day, and I'm like in 6th place. I'm about to spike out of my fucking mind, right? I rolled down, I hit Vel'koz 2, I hit some Heimers, I hit a Volibear, Ivern 2. Like the nuts. The absolute nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to slam my items on my Vel'koz, and the game freezes, right? like for some reason my Heimer is like under. It looks like my Vel'koz is piggybacking my Heimer because like I'm trying to switch the spots, and then I get the circle of death. I see it.
Everyone in the lobby just had their like wet dream come true. Like the guy who just fucking high rolls and hits everything just disconnects. Yeah, all like ecstatic.
So Robin was streaming at the same time, right? And I'm like, at least like it doesn't like it's not that bad. Like I go 8th. I went 8th because I didn't put items on my Vel'koz. This had like the most naked, vulnerable Vel'koz of all time. And then I watch I'm like, okay, I'm just interested to see what Robin's perspective is here. And he hits me the round I DC. I slam no items. Ramblins and call them, and they're like, "What the like?" And the whole chat is just OKH businessing, and because it looks like I'm win trading Robin. They're not slamming my items and going in. It's so bad.
Yeah, that's a nice excuse to cover up for your OKH business there. You know,
yeah, no one's
nice story. Good story. Good story.
Bro. Don't look at my PayPal receipts. Is all I'm saying. How has your week been, Kevin?
It's been good. You know, everything goes by so quick nowadays. I did some work for my program. I played some TFT. And it's literally the same thing I do every week, and that's about it. Played some Stimmy Bros, played some hard climbing. I played some games yesterday. Top 4 out of 5 games. Yeah, three average placement of third. Average placement of third plus 5 LP.
Plus 5 LP, you're pretty good.
No.
That's up. You're up LP. It's good.
Up LP, not
rank 1 probably.
It's terrible.
It really do be like that.
It do be like that.
Yeah. How have you been, Dax?
I've been pretty good. I mean, I've started like going back to the gym recently, like 2 weeks ago. Ever since Alex left me, I've been trying to find like things to do with my time. It's been a little hard. It's been a little painful. But no, I've been really good. I've been streaming like every day, like 8 hours a day. I've been working out in the gym. I've been eating healthy. I've been making my own meals. My sister, like me and her, we used to live together, but recently she left for uni, so the house has been kind of empty. I've been kind of alone. And then, it's like, it's like a double whammy. Like my sister dips and then Alex dips and I got no one at home, no one to call and no friends. And it's just like, it's a double whammy. And then I'm just like, trying to find shit to do with my time. So yeah, I've been good though. I've been climbing out a ladder. I've been playing an NA with Rob and Kevin. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I'm excited for set 6 duo ranked. That's going to be really fun. Hopefully we can get rank 1. ASAP.
Ooh,
and then we'll release some Stimmy Bros merch on the way.
It sounds like, so I watched a video last night. It was a Cody Co video. It was them like he was I don't even he just like reacts to stuff and it makes fun of it. It's pretty funny. I don't know why I watched this. I was like recommend it. But there was the video they were watching. It was this guy named Dre Drexler. I think it was Dre Drexler. It was this Chad dude, right? It's what his lifestyle, his routine for the day. He was enlightening people, and he was like this jack dude. He wakes up next to his super pretty wife. He immediately goes and takes a bunch of like protein powder, meditates in the shower, like spends 30 minutes on his hair, just chads the fuck out. And it sounds like you're living that lifestyle right now. So Dre Drexler.
Oh well, almost there. I mean,
it's your Yoshi plush.
I literally, that's a different story. But like, I literally like get out of bed, like brush my teeth, brush my hair, and then I just sit and like stream all day. That's literally my life story. Yeah, with a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
and I work out a little bit. I mean, yeah, I can't get any better than this.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can get into our first question for you if our resident ramen lover wants to.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. All right. So Dax, we really need to know how
Mhm.
have you really been doing without Alex M?
Give us the
He's
juicy
been away
details.
for like 2 weeks now. We got a week left on the counter.
You know,
What's been happening? What's the deal? What's the
all
relationship
right.
status? We gotta get
Here's the deal. It's like when you have your friend, your homie that you hang out with every single day, and you're always hanging out, you're always gaming together, you're always having fun, and then just one day he just leaves you for a girl, and then you're like, excuse me, hello, like I thought this was us, like this could be us, but you playing, like it was a little rough at first, like. Because he was getting a little distant. I know he's calling her. I know he's like talking to her. He's not responding to my DMs. And then he said like I'm just gonna go leave for 3 weeks and visit her. And it wouldn't hurt as much if like I didn't get ghosted for 3 weeks. Because I've been left on cold turkey. Like my DMs aren't getting responded to. I got 2 pictures sent to me. It feels kind of sad. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I got my buddy Ramen Kevin. He would never do me dirty like that. You know what? I know for a fact that Ramen would never do me dirty.
friends for
But
life.
yeah,
FFL.
I've been coping. I've been coping overall. I've been okay.
You just have to have enough homies that one of them, when one of them gets a girlfriend and starts ghosting you, that you just go to the next homie, and then
Yeah,
eventually that
exactly.
homie gets a girlfriend, and the other homie, it's like you gotta cycle homies. Is what it is.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you
If
it's
they end up coming back, don't worry. Relationships are
Back.
forever, but homies are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your homies are forever.
A homie. So I often find, as the kiss with homie emote might imply, that homies have a bond, right? That maybe was going in the wrong
Sacred
direction.
bond.
Mentioning, yeah,
Mhm.
it very similar in the way the relationship has a bond. At least it's like it's tighter, there's more glue holding everything together there. So as much as that glue stretches, homies are homies.
Yeah, you would kiss
And,
your homie,
unless they
for
go
sure,
through for
right?
3 weeks.
Like you would always kiss your homie, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
100%.
If people saw us kissing, like it would just be like he's kissing his homie. It's fine.
Let's get some homie. I mean, there's an email
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
it's very
Yeah, I mean,
normal. Yeah,
yeah, of course.
accepted. It's very normal. Yeah.
Closet homie got nerfed in last patch. Closest homie got nerfed in last patch. So I'm not streaming this right now, so I can actually read chat. I'm reading Kevin's chat, which is it's a fun experience. We also, Alex will be back. Set 6, you got your EU duo, you got your NA duo. It does lead us into another question that we did want to touch on, which is making friends in the TFT community.
That's a great question.
Yeah, so
I feel like a lot of people struggle to make friends in TFT quite a bit, actually. I was actually one of those people. Like, I only made friends in TFT like I've been playing since set 1, and like I only started making friends on like 4.5, pretty much. Like, in the EU community, it's so divided as well. Like, we have like everyone has their own like sub community, like the French community, the Spanish community, and like everyone's got their own like little bubble in the German community. So it's really hard when I'm like an EU player and I don't speak any of these languages. I'm not part of any of these communities, like to mingle with like everyone. So it's tough on my region. So I've been like trying to like make friends, and I have been making friends like ever since 4.5. We've been doing like like we did one with like Mr. Ramen Kevin. We did the PBE in houses for set 5 when it came out. Made a lot of friends there. And yeah, ever since then, it's just been snowballing. I've been making more and more friends in TFT. I feel like for the average person, for the average player, you just got to reach out. Like the way I met Alex, which is a funny story, is that we were both challenger at 4.5. We were like holding hands. Like I think he was like rank 12 and I was rank 13, and we were like holding hands. And I got into a game against him, and I was like, "Hey man, you're like 1 rank ahead of me. If I win this game, I beat you." And then like I beat your rank. And then he didn't respond. He fucking egoed me. So what ended up happening was like after the game ended, I added him as friend, and I said, "Hey man, I'm kind of done playing for today. Do you mind if I just watch you play on Discord?" Which was out of pocket. It was like out of nowhere. Yeah, and then he like I added him on Discord, and then I was just watching him play, and then we became friends, like just off that rip. We just became like super close after that.
It's tough in a single player game, right? Like it's not a team game, sure. So like it's tougher and it's easier because you don't have like the 07 Udyr in lane, Udyr like yelling at you for losing lane, but it's tougher to like, because you're not cooperating with anyone, you know. And if you are cooperating with someone, you're win trading, so you're not trying to cooperate with anyone.
Wait, what are you trying to say here? These
Okay,
big
business.
being thrown here.
It's tough. I mean, I started playing in 3, like the end of set 3. I literally, besides like people who got me into the game, I didn't have any friends, at least in the top level TFT, until probably this set. It's when I started talking to GV8, Kevin, like Jirachi, etc. Right, Ramblin. Until then, I talked to no one about the game, and that was fine for me. I mean, it was a little lonely, but like I think streaming changes that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is super hard, I think, to like if you're not putting yourself out there, you'll almost never make friends like naturally. I would say, just because like, yeah, no one wants to add you after you make them go ape.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, like, I think one good way to do it probably is just to get into. I think Discord is more personal, in my opinion, than like
and Twitch chats too. Like even streamers Twitch chats.
Yeah, for sure. Like, obviously, you might not be able to have a meaningful conversation in like the really big streamers, right? The chat moves so fast you can't even like get a message out there. But
like, say hi to me. That's not gonna happen.
Please notice me. No, but like,
it's not gonna happen.
You know, joining Discords, there are plenty of like communities. You know, Aphelios has a Discord. You know, I have a Discord. Dax has a Discord. Like most streamers have their own Discords that you can join, talk to people. But also, like, you know, sometimes you can go around. You go around the Twitch section. Just look at people that might not have too many viewers. If you just go into their chat, they're almost always going to respond to you. You know, like
True.
Yeah. If when I went a game, oh sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying like when I first started out streaming and I had like 5 viewers, right? Like most of the people that showed up in my chat, you know, I remember them now. Like I talk to them now because like, you know, that you're not talking to too many other people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good way to make friends. You know, it's like. But yeah, what were you about to say, Appies?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know, I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. No, okay, I do remember. My big brain remembered. So like, if you're in a game of TFT and your homie senses start tingling, right? Like you're kicking it off with someone in the chat in the game. You're like, man, I want to be this guy's friend, but it's a little, it's a little embarrassing maybe to just like go friend him or something. I mean, go look him, like check on Twitch. Maybe they have a stream. You can like, chill on Twitch chat. You just want to see them play, whatever. That is definitely a great way to make friends. Is just to hang on Twitch chat. And there are more people who stream this game. You'll probably realize, like, there are obviously like the really big streamers, and there are like the kind of smaller streamers. But there are streamers that are also much smaller than that. There are people who are like top challenger streaming to like 5, 6, 7 people, and it's like a very easy way to make friends. Just like go chill in a small chat like that, and like discuss the game, discuss your life, send a kiss a homie. Who knows? Yeah. So like that and Discord, I think, are great ways to get to know people. So, we can also talk about, okay, so we've seen more friendships popping up between EU and NA lately, right? Particularly in this call.
Yeah, absolutely. The dynamic duo, the best of NA and the best of EU collide,
So now that we've approached the friendship topic between EU and NA, EU versus NA. Dax, what are your thoughts on the EU versus NA conversation?
I think NA has a lot of extremely talented people, and I think EU has a lot of extremely talented people. I think the conversation of like NA versus EU is kind of outdated. Maybe we should just all be friends. You know what I mean? We should all like merge together and just be friends and like maybe not compare.
Ooh, yeah, very diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as like the NA players are, a little. What we do is we just bring what you're trying to do there. We just bring all of NA.
I think like if I'm being honest, I feel like generally speaking, I feel like at least at the top of Challenger, the skill of like Challenger players or top Challenger players in NA and top Challenger players in EU is pretty much like practically the same.
Yeah.
I don't really see like much of a difference in terms of like gameplay or decision making. I feel like everyone's playing like on the same field. I feel like some players, specific players, like very specifically, stand out more than others, regardless of their region, because those players are like extremely talented. compared to like their peers. But there's always going to be like, like one player that like ends up like shining over the rest because they're just like extremely talented in what they do. And that goes for all the regions. Like, it's not just NA, it's not just EU. Like, I was watching China regionals, and I noticed a lot of like extremely good players and a lot of really good play. And I feel like when we say like NA versus EU, it feels like no other region exists as well. But there are other regions, and there are really talented players in other regions. But definitely NA is a force to be reckoned with, and a lot of really good players are in NA this set. Especially this set, I feel like there's a lot of like talent for sure. Yeah. So in terms of like NA versus EU, I feel like maybe that conversation is a little outdated, and maybe we should like, start like bettering each other rather than competing with each other.
Very kumbaya answer. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the top of the game in every region, like, people you're not going to get a top challenger in any region without playing the game well. And there's definitely, at least especially with NA and EU, I feel like it's very, very close to the top. I mean, and for again, there are examples of people in every single region that just stand above and beyond. So like, I think a lot of the conversation surrounding those players is less of like a regional thing as well, and more of like a specific player thing, right? Which at the top of the game, it's never a region thing. At the top of the game, it's like a player strength thing, an individual strength thing that's not, based on like the region. It may be like evolved from the region play style, but it is very specific to that player, I would say. So
yeah, absolutely, definitely agree.
Any thoughts, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, at least right now, I think it's definitely as Dex is. Obviously, I think, I'm just thinking about like League of Legends, for example. That's where you really start to see a divide. I think based off of what's been established and how it's been like going on over time, obviously, like, if you think about NA and League of Legends and you compare that with the rest of the international community, you're like, oh wait, oh no. But I think TFT is like, it hasn't gone to that point yet, and I would even say like, just based off of the results, you really can't say too much in terms of like what region is stronger than the other region, right? Like, we don't really see, unless we like go to the Worlds this year and we see one region just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like, just take all of the spots, right? Like,
yeah.
If that,
like, last Worlds was a mixed bag as well. Like,
Yeah,
that also
exactly.
tells us, yeah.
Like, basically every region outside of I'm trying to remember, right? Like, outside of China and Latin America, right, there was basically at least one person from every region in that final lobby, right? And
Yeah, that's weird. That's crazy to think about, actually.
Yeah.
That's what
So like,
to think about.
it's kind of nuts. Japan with their single representative, like OCE with their single representative, made it to final lobby. They did really well, right? Like, right now, I think there's like, in terms of like regional separation, there's not too much, and I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll see like what kind of, because maybe because there's so much money in China that they might end up just like developing so much faster than in other regions.
Yeah, they've got
like,
their own teamfight tactics game now, all to themselves.
Yeah,
they got their own TFT game. They got their
crazy.
$120,000 grand prize for regional finals.
I should got $1,000
I should got $1,000. Fuck.
Man,
Like,
I've never wished I was Chinese more than right now, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, right?
Man.
Imagine being
what?
in China.
You know what? Speaking about Chinese TFT, if you'd let me get into that really quickly.
Yeah, of course.
I did wanna say, when Chinese TFT first came out, like a couple weeks ago, I was watching the release, and I was watching people play the game, and I was like so bummed out, because it's like, look at this game, and like look how shiny it is, and look how new it is, and look how cool it is with all its animation and all the different game modes and puzzles and tacticianers and little legends and chibies and like so much cool shit. And I was like, dude, we've had this TFT the exact same way for like 2 years now, and we don't have any of this. And I was like really, really agitated and really bummed out. So I took the Twitter and I fucking wrote like a big rage letter. I just added more dog and added the fucking devs. And I need to issue a public apology because of that. Because like set 6 looks really good. Like it looks like they changed, like definitely they're getting funded like way more now. And like just the fact that like when they issued like the trailer for set 6, I was like really, really hyped. So I'm actually really excited and not as bummed out as I was when I saw like Chinese TFT. Hopefully we get puzzles. Like that's the one thing that I really want. Like puzzles is really hype. Yeah, puzzles is so hype. Like I really want that. But like aside from that, I think set 6 is going to be amazing. If not the best set we've ever had.
Yeah. You know what's wicked funny is that I was in a game the other day. I was I think I have like the other person had set 3 with a BT. I know there's a Chinese. I've watched you all play the Chinese TFT puzzles a little bit, and there's one thing where there's like Rangers in the back, or like Tristana versus set 3, right? And so I was rerolling Hellions. They had a set 3 with a BT, and I was like, "Oh shit, I know what to do here. I've seen this before.
I've seen this puzzle. I know what to do.
I've seen this before.
Kardax, do this." That's
So,
great.
like, I mean, the thing is, I didn't think about puzzles. I didn't know, I didn't think like too much about it until that moment. I was like, oh shit! Like knowing what this matchup looks like from a puzzle actually helps a ton here. Also, it's just cool as hell to be able to apply the knowledge of what set 3 with a BT versus the Tristana 3. That it's yeah. So there's some like really, really great stuff to be gotten from puzzle mode in general. So hopefully it's a thing that they implement soon. But we will talk about Chinese TFT. We can talk about it right now if you guys want.
I mean, we could. I mean, I feel like Dax is the most experienced out of all of us. Obviously,
I'm diamond rank. I'm diamond rank in set 1 in Chinese TFT right now. Dude, I've been playing. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. If it wasn't for like just like it lagging because like the servers are all the way in China and I'm all the way in EU, I would play it way more often. But it's just like the ping is just way too high. It's like 250, and I get like I lag so much and I can't position as fast and I can't like roll down as fast. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it's really decent. It's really good. I mean, I've been enjoying playing set 1 again. It's just really nostalgic for me because that's the set like I that got me into TFT to begin with. So just being able to play set 1 again was like a huge like hit of nostalgia. So I really enjoyed like, you know, grinding and getting to diamond in that. And then I just kind of stopped. Just to grind more 5.5 with Mr. Ramen Kevin.
Yeah. Is it is there like a ranked thing for every set? Is it like set 5 is I'm confused with how it works, I guess.
Yeah, so they have a ranked ladder for set 1 and they have a ranked ladder for set 5.5.
Okay.
So they have 2 different ranked ladders, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you get to like play on whichever ladder you want. And of course they have the hyper roll and they have the puzzles and they have like the duo ranked mode, which is like it's just really nice. So I'm really excited that that's coming to our TFT as well. So I'm really glad that we get that now. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be very, very fun. Stimmy Bros rank 1, trust.
True.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to watching the Duo Q Stimmy Bros streams. I have no idea who I'm dueling with next set. I think
you don't have a partner?
No, I think Ori asked earlier. I did the hashtag question thing. But yeah, I'll answer it now. I have no clue who I'm dueling with. I'd love to do with GV8 again. I don't know. I think he's playing to a little bit with you, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
There's a chance we do a little egghead. bald man. I'll shave half of my head and we'll be like the 1.5 baldies or something.
You just turn your camera upside down so it's your chin and his head, and then everything just looks. But yeah, I don't really.
I can see it.
I don't think there's any like top player I'm planning to sweat duos with right now. You know, I think like there are a lot of people that are thinking of the duo. I'm just gonna whatever happens. You know, I'm planning to do with my mod a little bit, which I'm excited about. Maybe I'll do with the Sappies. Yeah, with Hot.
Ooh,
I might do with the Sappies a bit if I can do that, which I think I probably can. It probably doesn't probably matter. Like solo queue rank. So a lot of good things to do, I would say. A lot of potential.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to
absolutely
like assuming my experience with like Dota Underlords duos is the same, it's basically like you two, like this pair specifically, just that team. It's just based off of that team's rank. Like you can duo with a specific person, and that team is gonna have a.
And you can do it with as many people as you want, and then each team is like their own like little thing. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Does duo
it's what makes sense? Yeah, go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, no, for sure, this would make sense. I was gonna ask if duo queue in the Chinese TFT works the same way as duo queue. It sounds like it's gonna work in set 6. Is it like that? You just if you've tried it,
I don't know. I haven't played duo Chinese TFT. I haven't had a duo to play with. Yeah, I haven't tried it. And they only allow you to play. The thing with China is that they only allow you to play duo TFT for like 4 hours a day, every day at a specific time, and then it's locked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a time limit on it.
I was definitely talking about that on one of our. I mean, it was just like we were talking beforehand, or it was a different podcast. But I was talking about how, like, for the rank mode on duo queue TFT, I think the question was about like if duo queue is going to impact the importance, like how much people play solo queue, or if like top players are going to be playing duo queue because they're so they need to play ladder for like snapshots and stuff. But I think I mentioned that like if they made it so you can only play duo queue for a couple hours like a day, like it's a certain window, then people could play during that window and not just like have to sweat it out, right? So you can still play for ladder snapshots for like solo queue, and then you can also do like duo queue during that little window. So that'd be cool if that was how they implemented it. Yeah, I'd be down.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But if it's just like open to the public, I mean, like you could like just set your own hours with your teammate, right? Like you'd be like, okay, these like 4 hours a day, we will just play together throughout these 4 hours, and then at the end of the 4 hours, we'll just go back to our normal day and our normal solo queue. Because like, yeah, definitely, I definitely want to sweat for like snapshots. I definitely want to play for worlds. I definitely want to make it there. Yeah, I already like wrote a note to my fairy godmother, and I wrote like, I'm winning set 6 worlds. you know, I just sent the note. You know, I sent it to Santa. He's gonna gift me set 6 worlds. So
it's not fairy godmother interacting with Santa, huh? Is that how the mythology of Santa runs deep?
Yeah. We just we asked Santa what we want for Christmas, and I told him I want set 6 worlds.
Yeah, well, I mean, what big bag. That's thing is that like a non-ranked queue would be up like all day, right? But then like, because I'm sure Snapper's gonna be running the whole time. Like they're gonna be running for solo queue, gonna be running just like it is right now. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better, but so there's like 4 hours where you can do a ranked queue. So the problem is if people are putting if people are like top players are sweating solo queue to the point where like they can't put enough time into duo queue, then because there is a tournament already announced for duo queue where like they take the top of the ladders, I think from every region or something, top teams on the ladder. So the problem with the system, right, if you can just play as much duo queue ranked as you want, I think, is that tournament will have a lot of. I mean, it's not a problem necessarily for it not to have top player duos in it. But if like top players only play, let's say there's a duo that just plays like 10 hours a day, right? And they just get like a bunch. I don't know how the ladder system is going to work either, because if it's like hyper tiered, then you can just play a bunch, but probably or hyper roll, but it'll probably be closer to solo queue ladder. But like there are people who could put in so much more time than top players if it is just like open forever, because they're not worried about snapshots, right? Like people in Challenger.
But wouldn't that create like a dynamic where like then duo queue has like their own top players? You know what I mean?
It could, yeah. That's the thing. Which I mean isn't a problem. It isn't a problem at all. Yeah, I mean it could be very cool if it was like that. I think no matter how it ends up, whether it ends up that like duo queue has its own top players because of how the ladder system pans out and in correlation to like solo queue snapshots, or if like it is top players because like they implement like a certain time frame where you can play it every day. I think either way is fine. But as a top challenger player that wants to do both, that wants to like compete in both it'd be nice if like it's more of a personal bias thing, because it would be cool.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. I get you.
It would be cool as fuck to have like just these duo queue chads, these monsters who just like they walk into the room, they're like holding these homies are just they're just these monsters of duo queue. It'd be very cool. It'd be very, very cool thinking about it. So now I just kind of want to be a spectator. I don't know. It'll be cool either way.
I could see it. I mean, I already believe in the Stimmy Bros. I mean, I know we're going rank 1. It is what it is. You're just gonna watch it happen.
Yeah, it'll. I just need a I need to figure out a way to be in call and also play the game. It'll be
Yeah, I mean, but when we're in there in that environment, like a duos environment,
I'm
I mean,
sure-
we
I'm
don't
sure
need to, like,
it'll
talk
be
about
great.
what we need to talk about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we don't have to like chit chat. We can just talk about like what we need to talk about, and then we focus on our own games.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
talk about
It's like
cooperating,
the
right?
dynamic is different because like we've been having like a
super,
lot of
super
fun,
different.
like just on call and just like playing together. But like when we're in the zone, when we're like actually trying to focus and actually trying to play the game, it's gonna be like a different like vibe altogether.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing is, like, when you end up in a duo queue with someone, like, you're both so focused on your own boards, and, like, there's literally no cooperation at all. That, like, the talk, like, you want to talk about it, you can't. You only talk about the game because, like, no one gives a shit. Like, the person I'm playing with doesn't give a shit if I, like, I'm like trying to roll. Like, they don't want me to hear me say like, oh shit, I hit 2 veins in this shot. Or,
Yeah.
Like,
It's like shut the fuck up, man. Like I'm trying to focus on my game, man.
my game. Like, I'm rolling down. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't want to hear about your fucking two veins and
exactly.
shot, fucking 2-1. Get out of my fucking
Like,
ear.
it's almost BM to just talk about TFT and like if you do queue with someone as it is right now, because like they don't want to hear about your fucking game.
Yeah.
Like if Dax and I queue up and I'm like, oh shit, Dax, I have a cracked opener. Like it's just not what he wants to hear, you know.
You know what? I'll allow it. You know, if you tell me you got a cracked opener, I'll engage. I'll tell you, yo, what's your cracked opener? It's like Ryan and Kled too. It's like really Kled too. Good job, Offies. You did it, man. I'm so proud of you. You're going first.
Meanwhile, you have like double. You have like cloaked tier star with like Senna Olaf and like a Kenneth, and you're like, oh, nice, my board is lit, and like it's just So with actually being like a cooperative mode, there will be a lot more to talk about with your partner that actually pertains to TFT and not about like what she ate for dinner last night or what homies you're
absolutely.
kissing
I mean,
today.
if you watch the trailer, they actually announced that there are ways that you will actually be able to like help your team in game,
Yeah.
like giving them
Oh,
things,
yeah.
like giving them assistance, which is actually like I'm a little scared and hesitant, but I'm also excited to like find out how you're able to like help your teammate. If it's just like with like like when they're like at a certain HP level, you like click a button and you just like give them gold. Like that's kind of sus. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
I feel like it could be more engaging. I feel like if it's more engaging, it's more fun. Maybe you can interact with their board in some way, or maybe give them a unit. You know what I
Give
mean?
them money.
Like you get a tier 2 unit and then you give it to them. That'd be kind of hype.
Here's my game plan. Every time I get a cloak, I just give it to them. When I ask for a better component and there's like a little like assembly line of cloaks heading towards my partner.
Yeah, they're the cloak. They're the cloak junkyard. You take all the cloaks and put them there.
It's not a duo
And
mode,
all
it's a
your cloaks to
1.5
your
player
partner.
mode.
Just enjoy these cloaks, bro. I don't need these.
Just take that shit. Take that
You just
shit.
see like 3 declaws all slammed.
Oh,
man.
man.
Too good. Yeah, whoever's my partner is just going to be a cloak dumpster. It's going to be great. And the one game I play skirms and I get all my rods. It's new. It's
It
gonna be
happens to me
sick,
way
though.
too often. Where I have skirm opener, I get like tier rod, cloak, tier rod. It's like, okay, GG, FF.
Hey, you ever slam Archangel's Kled there?
Oh,
What? What?
I mean, it doesn't pop off, right? It doesn't pop off.
It probably doesn't.
Use the rod. The only one that pops off would be it's the
Blue
what's
buff,
it called?
right?
Blue buff.
Yeah. You know my favorite thing to do is to go into people's chats and be like, so people like random like people in your Twitch chats will be it'll be like this random person who's like buy like do this question mark or like it's almost a little condescending how they say it. Like sometimes, not always, but sometimes.
Yeah,
My favorite thing to do is to go into chats and be like offer some idea that's super fucking bad. Like today I went into Dax's chat. I don't know what he thought. But I went and the first thing I said was like he is like playing a draconic board, like had like 3 really good AD items on an Olaf, and I was like fuck it. And I was like sell Olaf, roll down for Gragas 2 and switch items. Question mark.
Yeah, I saw it and I hard ignored. I hard ignored you. I was like, that's a troll. That's a grief. I just like as a streamer, I just filter out the hard grief. You know what I mean? I just filter it out just to like look at what like is good is being said, and then I just filter out everything else. Like I see someone telling me to roll down for Olaf 2 for fucking Gragas 2. I'm like, okay, that's not it.
It's my favorite thing to do now because like if someone takes me seriously, I just don't stop cackling.
Oh,
It's
no.
so funny.
I hope no one's taking you seriously so far. That would be awful.
Yeah, no one's taking the bait yet, unfortunately.
I like going into chats and being like, these are good Udyr items. You should think about
Yeah, he does
Udyr.
that. He actually does
Have
do
it.
that.
You know what
He does that
happened?
and calls me.
These are good
I'm like,
Udyr
bro,
items.
look at this over. It's cracked. What am I playing? He's like, you're playing Udyr. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I
Fuck
played a
that
game
unit.
of I played a game of Udyr 3 like a couple days ago, and Kevin just appears in my chat in the middle of the game, and then he starts talking about I went like 5th or something, and he said no refunds over and over again at the end of the game. And I went in his chat like the next day, and I was like asking him for a refund, and he killed every single time I asked.
No refunds. Okay, business.
Yeah,
Udyr
Udyr 3
is
is god
sick,
awful.
though.
I'm just gonna get it out the bag. It's god awful.
Are you
How
talking
are
about
you
Radiant
today?
Duel, that guy?
Come on now.
That unit is god awful.
Hey, did you go first on your main, or did you go first on the spider ramen?
It's just I'm playing against the same people. Let's be honest here. But no, I went first and then 7th. Was my
That's fair. That's fair.
with my
It's the same
Udyr
people,
replacements.
But it's like the same people, but you have no inhibitions. You know, it's like if you walk in a classroom full of people and everyone knows who you are, you don't like, you know, you're gonna be a lot more hesitant. Like, you know, if someone says like, give you $100 to take off your clothes off, like take off your clothes off right now, and you walk into like a room of people that everyone knows you, or like that you care about what their opinions of you, and you're like, oh shit, I can't do this here. Like it's not worth. And then you know, you go on your Smurf account, you walk in the classroom, and you just strip for 10.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I mean, like,
you just lay it all on the line.
I go 8th on the Spider Rider Ramen account. I lose like what 40 LP,
Yeah.
and then like that's twice the amount of LP. That's like half the amount of LP I lose on my main account for a 6th. They're like, let's go! I'm not to go 8th every game.
But what it is that Udyr 3 rewards Chad gameplay. It rewards like balls to the wall. I like 1st or 8th. I will win this game 9 skirm Udyr 3, or I go like hard 8th and look like an idiot. It rewards that gameplay, which you just can't do if you're 2000 LP. You know, you just can't. You can't embrace the fun. Unfortunately,
Absolutely. I saw Ramkip try and play an Olaf 3 the other day, and he fucking went fast bottom 4. Like it was streaking him for the entirety of stage 3, and then into 4, and then it's like, wait a minute, this unit's kind of dying at like 4-2, 4-3. He starts taking like hard losses, like 7-unit losses, 8-unit losses, and he just goes fucking bottom 4. It's like that's not a real unit.
Olaf ain't no Udyr. As bad as like, okay, I'm pretty sure Udyr is definitely a better late game carry though. Like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because the thing about Olaf 3 is that if he starts getting hit, he just dies. So he can't even use his. He can't even use his shit, his passive or ult or whatever it is. Does it count as an ult if it's a passive?
Nah,
Is it?
nah.
I feel like.
Can you believe what they did to Draven? Are we gonna talk about this?
We'll talk. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the meta? We can talk about the meta.
We can talk about
All
the
right,
meta
let's
now.
shift into the meta conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can start off with what Rom and Kevin has to say, and then I'll piggyback off him.
Oh, on Draven. Oh, I think that unit.
Or about this patch in general, all of it.
Oh, I mean, I think the patch is fun. I think because
I agree.
there are a bunch of degenerate comps, but like you know, it's balanced. You know, and the degenerate comps are degenerate in different ways. You know, like you can play 1-cost reroll, you can play 4-cost carry, you can probably do 3-cost rerolls like Yasuo, Riven, Nid, all of those. Nocturne is still, I think Nocturne is still playable as long as you know the
absolutely.
right.
I think Nocturne is one of the best rerolls, best 3-cost
Yeah, for
rerolls.
sure, for sure.
He's so good at tempo.
You know, there's been some set carry popping up on some games. You know, there's there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do, and like I don't think any of them are too overly centralizing right now, which is good. Like I at least in the early stages of the patch, obviously things could be different. You know, a week down the line, people have optimized stuff. People are like, oh, you just do this every game, and if it's not balanced, then it's bad. But
They find out how broken Dommy Mommy is.
yeah,
That's the day that ends.
yeah.
It's probably
That-
gonna be
yeah.
an assassin's back.
Unfortunately, that's
Unfortunately, it won't work out. But I think it's good. But going into Draven, I think Draven is a super good unit.
okay.
Like,
By super good, you mean
like
question mark?
I don't think he's like the best carry like in the game, but like I think very consistent. If you can get good items on him, like
Do you
I
think
think
he's
I-
at a point where he needs to be taken down a notch?
probably a little bit. I could see it
Okay,
being.
I would agree to that. Yeah, I would agree there.
I think
yeah.
it might be a little bit too easy to top 4. I've seen a lot of people just open forward into it and just play Draven and they'll top 4. And when you can kind of do that consistently, that's when it's sort of like it becomes a problem, right? Like being able to just full open into a certain comp, normally that's when you can sort of the eyeball test and be like, okay, this shouldn't be happening, right? You shouldn't be able to do this because, especially with a 4-cost carry, like that's not like 1-cost carries are the type of carries that rely on like specific perfect items, things like that to enable them. That's why like normally when you do that, you pseudo open forward to get to that point, right? But like doing it for a 4-cost carry, where you just super hard stabilize, it's normally what you don't really like to see that kind of thing happening, right? Like that's when you can sort of say,
Absolutely.
okay, it's a little bit unbalanced here. It needs a little bit of touch up.
I don't know if I've actually seen open fort Draven so far. So my opinion of Draven right now is I think he's good. I think he's good for like a really consistent top 4, but he has such a hard time winning lobbies without 3-starring him. I feel it's like so hard to win a lobby with Draven because like I feel like by the end of the game, like there's so much shit that just kills everything on a board, and then Draven is like they're like the AP boards, for example, like you have to kill Daze, you have to kill like maybe a Teemo twice, a Lulu twice, you have to kill so much. Like, I feel like a single player unit just falls off so hard, but I feel like he is super consistent for top 4, at least.
Yeah. I agree. I think Vel'koz has been and will always be like the best like end game comp in the game. I feel like Vel'koz destroys like Heimer comps and Teemo comps, and like every single comp gets wiped by a Vel'koz too. And it's just like, holy shit, this unit is a 4-cost.
Yeah,
Why is it wiping my entire team of 5 costs? What is going on? And I just lose my mind every time I'm playing like Teemo 2, Heimer 2, Bali 2, Heimer 2, and then I just get wiped by a fucking Vel'koz beam. And I'm like, this is so frustrating, and I hate it. And I hate this game, and I hate the people that fucking balance this game. And I just like FF, and I end stream, and I leave, and I go sleep. Like that shit frustrates me to no end. Vel'koz has been and will always be like the best fucking like end game.
Vel'koz is like the king of front to back. It's instant. Like you wrong side Vel'koz, doesn't matter what your carry is, you're dead. It's like
if you're right side Vel'koz, it's still like a toss up.
Yeah,
you still have to be strong enough to get through everything else, right?
You have to dodge volley, you have to dodge Spellweaver Fiddle sometimes, you gotta dodge like
everything. Like a bomb, like a three like a even if like a just 2-star A bomb, like the 3 A bomb is still enough to like kill a couple units, and like it's still fucking annoying. It's so there's like so
really
many
annoying.
things. Like I don't know. I feel like when you look at a unit like Draven, you look at a unit like Vel'koz, or honestly, I think Aphelios is so fucking good right now. I literally play him so much. He's just AD. He just feels like AD Vel'koz. Literally, it's, you know what it is. Here's the board. At least I would say last one lately. Like if you are on 4 Ranger with a Sedge whatever front line on like at the start of stage 4, and you have an Aphelios, you're just streaking. Like it's actually just fucking impossible to lose around with 4 Ranger and an Aphelios.
But the thing is, with Aphelios is like the thing is with Aphelios, if you have a Trapclaw, you can just dodge his ult. But with Vel'koz, that's the thing that just beams through. Fucking thing. You don't get the Trapclaw Vel'koz beam. It just beams right on through you.
Oh yeah. I mean, old Trapclaw, you could do something. Old Trapclaw was the Vel'koz killer.
It's a Trapclaw rework diff. That's what it is.
It is. Yeah. I think that's the reason why 4 Rangers so okay. 4 Rangers so slept on. First off, it was already slept on.
Oh yeah.
Ash getting buffed on top of it. So here's my thing with 4 Ranger, TG and Radiant TG, the 2 best holders in the game by far, in my opinion. Not in my, they're just objectively 2 best holders in the game are Ash and Varus. Ash in particular. There's literally no item on Ash that you can roll on Radiant TG or on normal TG that is useless. Even tank items are fine, right? I played Radiant TG Ash a couple times yesterday. out of maybe the like 20, 15, maybe 20 rounds that I had that unit on my board, there was not a single round where she couldn't use both of the items to like great effectiveness. Like even like a Rabadon's and a ZZ Rot, right? 4 Ranger, if you're on 4 Ranger Ashe, ZZ Rot's perfect. You just get extra front line, sure. Like Rabadon, she does extra damage. She casts like as 4 Ranger. You know, and then like you get those like sometimes you get rolls where it's like Shojin Trapclaw, and you're like, oh shit, it's a free. This round's just free. Like it's actually just the freest round. You're like, you have Radiant Shojin, Radiant Trapclaw on your Ashe, and it's yeah. I don't know. I think like you have so much to proc Trapclaw, especially if you manage to hit Auction in 4 Ranger. That like by the time Aphelios ults, Auction's proc Trapclaws, Ashe's proc Trapclaws. Like there's just so much going on in the fight, so many spells going off that by the time Aphelios ults, like it just is a board clear. It's fucking crazy.
I agree. I think I tried to play 4 Rangers. I feel like late game, like stage 6, it kind of falls off, and I kind of just want to like kill those 2 like extra Rangers for like a volley and an Ivern.
Yeah, you can.
But in some lobbies, yeah. But like today, I was watching in EU. I don't know if you know who KR Hunter is. He was playing Ashe 3 every game, like 4 games in a row. And he top 4 like all of those games. He was playing like Ashe 3 with like consistently with like Rageblade, Hodge, and Giant Slayer. Those 3 items every single time, all 4 of those games. And he was like consistently top 4 every single game. And it was insane. I was like, wait, this unit is broken. That shit would like stun your entire team and it wouldn't let go. And like with the Giant Slayer and the Hodge, it just heals back to full and it just does a lot of damage. So I can definitely see like Ashe being like really, really slept on right now. He was like winning lobbies. Like he won against me. Like I had a fully capped like Heimer board and he beat me with Rangers. So I was like, holy shit, what is this? And the thing is with me is like when I boot up a game of TFT, right? I'm always thinking like how I can get to like my most capped board and how I can like get there like effectively. I feel like for me that like teaches me how to play early game like picture perfectly or almost perfectly as best of my ability. So I can like get to that late game. So I can like get to like my tier 2 Heimer or my tier 2 Auction or my tier 2 Teemo or whatever, which is why I actually like to play for 5 costs because it like it wires me in a way where like I have to play really, really good early game to get to that position in the game. So I consistently like try and like better my early game all the time just so I can get to like that 5 costs and like have an amazing end game board. So which is why like every time you tune into my stream, you see like I have fucking Heimer 2, Teemo 2, Auction 2, fucking Volley 2, and it's like, what the fuck? How did you get here? It's like, how do you get here every game? And it's like, well, you just gotta like, you know, optimize your early game a little more and like sign really good items and play really good mid game, and then you'll eventually get there. That's why like when I watch someone like in EU, for example, like there's a lot of EU players at like Challenger that literally just play around their like 3 costs or their 4 costs. And I'm like, dude, how do you do this? Okay. You go for like 4th every game. I can't do this. I can't play for a 4th every game. Okay. I'm the first player. Okay. I'm going to first every single lobby and it's a wrap. I mean, even when I don't get first, I don't go 8th. Like I still like play really well and I go like 6th or 7th or 5th sometimes. I mean, that game where you saw that I didn't hit a single Auction. I hit the, what was it where I did the
Lucian, I think. I think you.
Yeah. I ended up like putting the items on a Lucian and went like 5th. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. I had like double Nika and I just couldn't find an Auction. It is what it is. But I do like to play for the 5 cost carries for the most part. I mean, it's always been a habit of mine ever since like I played competitively 4.5, where I would always play for Samira. And like I made it to like qualifiers, like at the end stage, just playing Samira every game. It's like, holy shit, this guy just plays Samira 2 every game. What the fuck? This guy's crazy. And it's just like, yeah, well, I just think like, you know, you have to find a way to get to your end game board and just win the lobby. Unfortunately, Fortune's dropped TG when I cashed out my Fortune, and I went bottom 4.
Yeah,
that was a very sad day. That was a very sad day when I like got my Fortune cash out and it was just TGs. At that moment, I knew I just lost. I'm not making its worlds, and it was just really sad.
The Fortune TG is like rough, right? Because like when you have Fortune, normally your board isn't that strong, which means that you have TGs to put on your not strong units, which is like, okay, all right, cool.
It turns them into not strong units that are a little bit stronger if they have an item on them. If it's a good item, sometimes.
Yeah,
it's something else. How do you feel with the 5 costs right now? Do you feel like, I know you think Auction's really strong. What do you feel about like Kayle?
Really I feel like Kayle's a little underwhelming right now.
Agreed.
At least compared to like last patch, they kind of like gutted her with like DB. I feel feel like she's like pretty much unplayable now, unless like you mega high roll. Akshan's still really good. Like I feel like Akshan has a place. I feel like Akshan like always wins games. Yeah, like triple item Akshan always wins games. Like you got a DB on that bitch, you got a BT on that bitch, you got a Runeons on the bitch, and it's like it's over for everyone in the lobby.
Best slot auction is the best. In my opinion, best slot auction is the single best unit in the game. Like if you have Deathblade healing +1, like literally he just will 1v. I've seen auction, like I've seen auction with those items, or just like as long as you have Deathblade and healing, right, +1.
Yeah,
like he will kill. You have like a full like capped timer Teemo board. He doesn't fucking care. You can have literally whatever one star shit doesn't give a fuck. He just goes and kills everything.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like he just gets up swinging animation, and he's like immune to all CC, immune to all Vel'koz ults, and he doesn't give a fuck about anyone. He just fucking wraps around your team and it just kills everything. And he's like, all right, GG, whatever. Yeah, he's great. I really like Akshan. Especially like now when like it feels like a lot of people are playing for the Draven. And I'm like, okay, you can play for your Draven. I'll play for Akshan. You know what I mean? It's like, you can play for your 4-cost, I'll play for my 5-cost, and I'll just win the lobby. So it's like, yeah, Draven I feel like is a little overtuned, and I don't think he'll make it to Worlds in the state that he's in right now. I hope he doesn't, at least, because it feels a little too consistent, IMO. But I mean, like, Vel'koz has felt this way for, like, forever. So it's like, is Draven not allowed to feel this way? It's like, I don't know.
The thing is, I feel like Draven in the state he is right now, like, again, he's not going to be winning most lobbies unless someone, like, at least from like let's say open fort. If you open fort in a Draven, right, you're not top 2 and you're top 4. You're getting 4th, right? But if you're playing from tempo, you get to Draven 3, then you can get a 1st. So it's still a comp where like you open fort into it and you get 4th, which is like, it's not, I think you still have to play well around him. I think he's definitely strong. I don't know if I agree that he's like too strong necessarily, because I think there's a lot of stuff that beats him late game. It depends on how well everyone else is. Like, I think it really depends on the lobby situation, because like, I don't know, I think if you're in a lobby full of a bunch of people who are all really good, like Draven's you're gonna feel the effects of Draven falling off earlier, because he's still a 4-cost, right? I think he's a 4-cost that's really strong, stage 4 or 5, but I think he is not nearly as strong as like Aphelios, Vel'koz, or any of the 5.
So I have a question for you, Appies. Have you ever faced an 8 Legionnaire Draven?
I have. I beat it with Lucian 3. I beat it.
Really? Okay.
It's Draven 3. It's Draven 3, and Lucian 3 farmed it.
Oh,
you know, I think Legion Draven, like 6 to 8 Legion Draven is fucking cracked. But you need a spat, right? Like I don't know, if you're open forting, I don't think you're getting any better than
but like compare 8 Legion to something like 9 Sentinel.
I still think Sentinel.
Yeah, okay.
Legion to something like 9
It depends. I think
compare Legion to something like 6 Spell Reaper, for example. Like, 8 Legion is absolutely insane. It's cracked. That shit's illegal.
It's really
not exist. And it's on
really
level
good.
8. It's on level 8.
That's the biggest thing about it.
Level 9. 9 Redeem is level 9. And 8 Legion is like on level 8. And you got this like insanely cracked board where a Draven 2 just goes first. And it's like, okay, whatever. I guess I just lose. I guess I just lose here. Like, you can't do anything about it. The Draven wipes your team before your fucking Lulu can cast. It's like, it's GG. It's like, whatever. I mean, I'm so frustrated by this like Draven meta now, because like I feel like every lobby has at least like 2 of these guys. And if there's one of these guys, you know he's getting the Draven 3. So you got to hold all the Dravens on your bench. And it's like, oh no, everyone hold Draven. He's like 3 away. Please.
You know, I actually, so yesterday I was in a game. I was playing Draven, top player in the lobby was playing Draven. They hit Draven 3, 6 Legionnaires. I had my Draven 2, and I beat him. I sent him for third. I beat him.
So your Draven aggroed his Draven before his Draven aggroed your Draven.
We basically how it worked out. Well, maybe. Yeah. I mean, it definitely. That's how you win. You have to get your Draven aggro onto the other Draven. But you know, they had a capped board. They had like Lulu. They had 6 Legionnaires. They had mine was same exact items, by the way. Rageblade, Hodge, IE. Same exact items. Almost same positioning. We both had front row Draven. Mine was over on this side. Theirs was over on the other side, right? But I was playing 4 Forgotten. So 4 Forgotten plus 3 Ironclad. So I actually ended up winning that matchup because, you know.
What was his items like? Were your items just better?
I mean, my items were the exact same. The exact same items.
Okay. Oh, wow. Here's my problem with Draven, and why I don't think Draven will ever be like insanely broken for like winning. I think he's really good, but my problem with Draven is that he kills one thing at a time. Yeah, like the problem with TFT is that a unit that kills one thing at a time will never scale well into late game. Like think of the insane carries over the course of TFT, right? Samira's, Auctions, Aphelios is really good. Vel'koz has been really good. Asol was really good before. Who else was like, you always needed Runan and Olaf, right? Like Kayle still hits multiple things at a time. I feel like if you're not hitting multiple things at a time at the end of a game of TFT, there's just so much that can go super fucking wrong for you. Because like the thing is, Draven, like even Draven isn't necessarily one-shot stuff, right? It generally two-shot stuff. Like when it has axes, it two-shot stuff.
Wait, you were talking about things that like hit multiple things at once?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're talking about like Karma, right? Karma?
Karma,
that unit, right?
Okay. Here's the thing with Karma. She hits one thing at a time, or she is like AoE technically, but the problem with Karma is that it's not consistent. I still think they were like consistent AoE. Right?
Yeah,
like, everything else is like Karma. Yeah, she literally the problem. Karma on paper looks kind of cracked. No, like on paper, Karma seems okay. Maybe not kind of cracked. She looks okay on paper, and then you see her miss every fucking ult and do like
that happened to me today. I literally played Karma today, and she missed 4 ults in a row. And I was losing my goddamn mind. I was like, please. And I went forth.
Draven is one of those units. Draven and Karma are the same archetype of unit. I think that they're good. They're really good sounding on paper, but like in actuality, like when you have a unit that is that like it's that susceptible to just like random shit happening. Like Draven is just very susceptible to like. Let's say you're fighting an Invoker, you're fighting like a Ivern Invoker, Teemo Heim, or whatever the fuck board, right? Like Draven, let's say he's on the same side as the Ivern, but he hits something else first. Ivern ult, he starts hitting the Daisy, right? It takes, let's say, 3 autos to kill the Daisy. He hits Ivern like maybe twice. 2 or 3 times, Ivern ults again. Another Daisy's out. He has to do 3 more autos on Daisy, and that's all the DPS he's doing, right? All his DPS is on this one side to the Ivern, to the Daisy, to these shitters that do literally nothing, and he's not affecting the rest of the board at all. He's not like his board presence is literally non-existent because of the amount of HP in this one little corner. Whereas you have Aphelios or Karma, or not Karma, Aphelios like Vel'koz or something, they hit them a little bit and they affect the rest of the board, right? Like the stuff that the rest of the board does for that unit. Let's say for Aphelios, right? For Ranger Aphelios, the rest of the stuff that the board on that Aphelios' board does for him, he like. Ash, Auctions that are getting backline lower, like, chipping away at front line, like Cavs stunning stuff on the front line. They set up the board for Aphelios to do well, right? They set the board for like backline to be lower HP, for him to get some Deathblade stacks on front line even, and he goes, it affects the board in a very meaningful way, and then he gets a second ult off because everything's dead. Everything, it's just like him and the carry and Ash, and then Ash ults the carry, and then he just finishes off the fight. Where Draven, like, no matter what supporting units you have, like, Viego is a really good supporting unit, right? For him, because, like, you just give you some backline access, helps you, like, Viego, Diana, etc.
Yeah, right? You have Viego, Diana, that's a different story, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Very capable of winning.
Yeah, Viego, Diana is, like, the one thing that, I think, makes Draven really good. I feel like without Viego, Diana, Draven feels so bad, because he just, like, his board presence is not nearly enough for, like, committing 3 items to him, and, like you have to, like, I think he's so positioning dependent, and you can't play for, like, I don't know. I think you have to be on the right side every time. You're never going to be on the right side every time because it's RNG who you play. And I don't know.
That begs the question then: what is your favorite Draven board? Both of you.
My favorite Draven board? It's like generally I have like 4 Forgotten with. I don't play it a ton, but with 4 Forgotten with like Diana Viego, and then was what around Diana Viego, and then like Rel Not, I guess.
Like level 8 board.
Yeah. Like, I think like.
What about you, Mr. Roman Kevin?
Yeah, I really like that. Like with I think if you can get Diana and Viego, that's how you win with Draven, right?
Yeah.
Like you get if you get a good Diana ult, that's how you beat Vel'koz, for example. That's how you beat, Aphelios.
Oh, but he's got Trapclaw and a Syndra. What are you gonna do about it, man?
You toss the Diana and the Viego in the same spot, right? Like I was playing against this Vel'koz board, right? I tossed the Diana Viego. One was like right on top of the Syndra, the other one was right to the left. So the you ult, you break Trapclaw, she tosses you, and then your Viego is there to like suck the Syndra, and then the Syndra tosses the Vel'koz for you.
Wait, doesn't your Viego die in that exchange?
Yeah,
Vel'koz just ults and beams him down.
No.
I don't know.
Not,
I mean,
not your,
if
sounds like
your
your Viego. Sounds like your Viego like
jumping
landed
center, right?
perfectly next to. Yeah. Sounds like it landed just perfectly.
Yeah,
next to the-
yeah.
And it's not in
It's
like
like-
beam range.
Basically, the Viego landed like right on backline, right next to where the Syndra was, right? And the
Mhm,
Diana
yeah.
landed like basically the Hex, like in second row that was right next to the Viego, right? So Diana was there. She broke Trapclaw. Then she got tossed because I had a shroud, but you know that's different. And then Viego is there. Viego sucks the Syndra, and the Syndra is able to send the Vel'koz out for you because the Vel'koz is right next to the Syndra. It's great. It's
Well,
It's
yeah.
like even
well,
the
the question
Neutron
here-
brain blast, like you're going through as you're thinking on that. And then you're
he's
on the
like
wrong side.
mapping it out for
It's
us.
like shit.
It's like a Rube. It's like a Rube Goldberger. But like, I think that it's your best chance of dealing with the things because sometimes if you have Rel as well, like if you do have a Sin jumping back line, or especially if you have two Sins, right? You can't toss both of them, right? And then like you get Rel all to go, that can help you proc the Trapclaw as well, right? Because usually if you position Rel in a good spot, she's gonna ult the Sin on the back line, which means you can stun the back line as well. And so like I think that's your best way because like
Robin, what if they have two Trapclaws?
oh you're
Fucked. You're fucked.
yeah,
You absolutely do.
but like if they have two Trapclaws, they're winning the lobby anyway. If they can have a stack carry with two Trapclaws, what are you gonna do? You just
Oh
just
man, I can't wait to see that at Worlds, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the guy with fucking Vel'koz two Trapclaws just winning fucking Worlds, calling it a day.
It's crazy how bad of a unit Vel'koz is when you don't have Trapclaw though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
actually insane.
It's
Oh
fucking
yeah, with and without
crazy.
Trapclaw, it's like a different comp. It's like Volibear slams and you can't ult anymore. Well, you're fucked. And
yeah.
it's like if I have a Volibear and you're playing Vel'koz with no Trapclaw, you are fucked. You're like done for.
There's so many things
Yeah.
that like Sins, Viego,
Yep.
Diana, Thresh,
Yeah.
Volibear.
It's just too much.
Mm.
But then you have that one Thresh player who's playing a fucking Poppy 1 at 5'6".
Oh, you
and the Poppy 1 ults your Vel'koz. And you
She
get fucking
buckles, she
like, what
what
the
the
fuck,
buckle,
dude?
and then it's like the
Yeah.
finish hook comes through, and it just fucking pulls you in.
It's like the Thresh and Poppy is like fist bump because your Vel'koz is getting like dragged to hell. I don't know. It's I feel like
too many times.
I literally I
is
slam Trapclaw on stage 2 so much right now.
Oh yeah,
Just because like
I've
I
done
think
that.
like if I'm playing AP, a lot of the time like if I feel like just what I tend to play like as openers like Trapclaw is actually a very strong game state, a very strong item stage 2 as long as you have the units to support it or the star level power to support it, right? Because like Sun, you want to sometimes you think I want to save for Sunfire or whatever, but Trapclaw is like the best scaling item in the game by far, and
fuck Sunfire. I want
blocking spells early game is so much better, and it's not even that much weaker than a Sunfire. On like some boards, it's even better than a Sunfire, right? Like in a Callisto matchup.
I've actually given up on the idea of slamming Sunfire almost like ever, like in the early
Yeah.
game. Like if I have Chain Belt, I'm not slamming that Sunfire. I'm literally saving this belt for my Trapclaw. Like I want that item so bad, and it's
so
really
necessary.
it's really sad how we've gotten to like a point in the meta where it's like you need Trapclaw to top 4. You don't have this item, you're not top 4ing. And it's like
I will say though, okay, I think new meta
Mhm.
thoughts on full aura with a QSS instead. Because
like Zeke's QSS.
because I played a game the other day of Callista carry, by the way. And Callista's a unit that really likes Trapclaw, for example, right? She's super duper like
Yeah.
She's a backline carry, you get Thresh Hook, you're doomed. But instead of building Trapclaw because I didn't have access to it, I had Last Whisper, i.e. QSS, with the Radiant Locket, etc. But like I've been thinking, if you can, if you have enough damage to support it, sometimes QSS
I was about to say
is the
that. Yeah.
solution, right? Like if I had a Vel'koz with Shojin Jewel Gauntlet, and I had like a bunch of chalices, right? And I had a QSS,
You'd be
I've run that.
Yeah, you'd be hard person. Yeah, for sure.
I've run 4 Spellweaver Vel'koz with a QSS. It was like relatively, it was like a couple weeks ago, like a week ago even maybe, and it actually felt amazing. Because like if you have you have enough damage, it is really nice. I think the reason why people are starting to get away with QSS slam is that people like if you notice like Jack's Knight is not nearly as popular. Like I feel like the thing is if CC is good, So see, like QSS is bad in a meta where there are DPS checks, right? And like Jack's Knight was the biggest DPS check in the game for every comp. You know, you just have to get through Fortnite, you have to get through Ironclad, etc., etc. It's just a huge DPS check, and has like the only CC on it that's really bad for your backline is Thresh. So that's like, and that board was so popular that like playing around Thresh, playing around Jax, Knights, etc. It was so popular that I think QSS was just unslammable for a long time. But now people are getting back. I feel like there are a lot more like Revenant boards lately. There are a lot more boards with like I mean, Diana has obviously been super popular for a long time, but I feel like she's even being played more now, like after the most recent patches and stuff. So I feel like it's getting into a meta where like stats aren't quite like frontline stats. Like, I mean, Ironclad got nerfed a little bit as well. Like stat checks aren't there as much, so it is a little bit safer to slam a QSS. Yeah. Because you just can't do it if there's a Fortnite Jax player and you slam QSS, you will be swinging away at that shit. Block. Aphelios ults. 6 damage. Block.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Like you can't play the fucking game if you don't have enough DPS.
Yeah.
So
which is funny that you mentioned Jax. Actually, I've been messing around with 6 skirms actually quite recently. I've been messing around with 6 skirms. You know, 6 skirms got a buff recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you feel the buff. Like when you're playing 6 skirms, you can feel the buff.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I hit. So what happened was it happened naturally. I was like, I hit Lee Sin Nidalee really early in like boxes, like stage 1. And then I just played like 3 skirm Sentinel, and then like at Krugs, I had a Jax shop. And I dropped a Nico from Krug. And then the next shop after Krug was a Jax. So I fucking Nico'd that bitch. And I had a Jax 2 on 3-1. And dude, I was running 6 skirms. And I was pretty much an AFK until like stage 6. I top 2'd with like the exact same board that I had a 3-1. Like literally almost the exact same board. I just got like eventually like I got Rel 2, Not 2. Eventually leveled up and played Viego 2. Like my board like did get stronger, but it was the exact same board pretty much. Just Lee Sin 2, Nidalee 2, Jax 2, and I went top 2. So 6 skirms feels really good, especially if you're playing it from like momentum. Like if you're already strong, you're already win streaking, and you're playing like for 6 skirm, it feels really good. And I can definitely like see it pop up like in games like when people start realizing how good it is. Like it caught me by surprise. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna limit test this because it got a buff, and let's just see how it goes. And it went really well. I did have Jax BIS. I had Last Whisper. I had a BT, and I was only running Last Whisper BT for like a really long time until late game. I hit a Titans, and then I ran Titans Last Whisper BT. So it's really good.
Yeah, I mean Jax. So you know, as your local Udyr 3 salesman, you know, like one of the Actually, though, one of the win cons for that comp is to have a secondary Jax carry. So if you get like a second BT, you put that on Jax, you play 6 skirms. You don't even need that. Okay, don't tell anybody I said this, but you don't even need 9 skirms to win lobbies. Right? Like if you have the BT Jax with 6 skirms plus an Udyr 3, and everything else is like upgraded, you have good synergies, that is very, very capable of it's not just top 4, it's very capable of winning the lobby. Like today I literally had that board, right? I had BT Hodge, Capspat Jax with Rage Blade, Titans, BT Udyr, and it just destroyed every board. It was like insane.
Wait, didn't you beat a Jax 3 board with Vel'koz 2 the other day? I swear I saw that game.
They were playing the Knights version. Also, I had Giant Slayer. Like my board would not be able to beat Vel'koz 2 with it.
I swear I saw that game, RevKev. I saw you fucking beam through that fucking Jax 3 like it was nothing.
I can already tell like Kevin won that lobby, and the reason is Kennen 2, right? You had a Kennen 2 on your board.
Which one? The skirms one?
Yeah,
I did not have a Kennen. I did not.
Really? I feel like Kennen is the most important unit in 6 skirm.
I had a Viego 2.
Oh, okay.
I had a Viego 2.
Okay, what?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, I also had a Galio.
Like, you walked up to
Galio 3 also was another thing that I had. So Galio 3 with Warmog's Titan or with Warmog's Gargoyles was also quite good. But
on a serious note, if we're talking about like one cost reroll, do you really think what do you really think is like the best one cost reroll right now? Because I have my own answer.
It's like
I'm
Jojo Callista, in my opinion.
I'm split between Kled and Kardax.
Kojuk is
I'm
so
with
good.
Ramkev on this one. I'm actually with Ramkev on this one. Kled and Kardax, I feel like are very strong. Kled especially, we don't see it played as much, but when I do see it being played, it goes top 1. It goes top 2. Like it does not go under top 2. Like that thing hits hard.
Yeah,
and, like,
when you have the good items.
And the end game board is like amazing as well. Like, right? Like
If
you
you get
play
Hellion,
I guess you can play Teemo as well, like very easily.
yeah,
now.
you can play
have to go
Aphelios, and it's like
hard.
it's broken. It's like you don't get to play the game. Like I
you
told
can
you,
make the spat as well, right?
No,
You can make
actually
Hellion
this
spat.
bad. That's fucking crazy, actually.
Mhm.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
recurve, and you just get a special, and it's just a wrap, and it's just like, okay, what the fuck? I just got run over by a Kled 3. It's like I couldn't do anything. But I do think Kled is really good, and Kardax is really good. Kardax is super
so good.
consistent. Every time I see Chugbug in a game, it goes top 4.
It's like they barely nerfed it. They gave him a little love tap. But like the
Yeah.
thing is, he was overkilling stuff by so much, anyways. That like giving that little 10% damage decrease, which is a lot of damage when you count for all the multipliers and stuff.
I mean, he was the thing is, he was killing things outside of like execution.
He still is.
He was killing
He
things.
still is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just
the
a really
thing was
good
like,
unit.
like my carry is like literally it has like 5 units around him, and Kardax still one-shotting him in the middle. It's like, Kardax, stop, please leave me alone. It's like I can't play the game. And it's just like it's pretty annoying. Like I was wait, Ramkev yesterday.
Yeah,
you
wait.
into my Auction. I hate you.
He
hate you.
Zephyred my Kha'Zix. Oh no. The perfect fight. Kha'Zix comes down, kills the whole team. with a Nidalee. I also had Nidalee 3 though. I think Nidalee 3 was a big difference maker. She's that.
Yeah, it was a difference for sure. You had Soraka 3 as well, right?
No, it was Soraka 2 with Sinspat, Jewel Gauntlet, Gunblade. I think but it was.
Yeah,
it was
that hurt. That also hurt.
What I expected the change to be was I expected it to be like a huge nerf on non-isolation damage, and then keep isolation damage the same. That's what I expected the nerf to be. Was like cut the non-isolation damage in half, basically, and then keep the isolation damage fine. Because like I feel like Kha'Zix's identity should not be like he's like a melee Ziggs that goes to the back line right now. Is what it feels like.
Yeah, a little more overtuned than a Ziggs.
Ziggs is still also overtuned. Kill your team.
Hands off! My hands are off! My hands are off! I swear to God, Ziggs is the best one cost in the game. Like at 2-star with blue buff, decap, that thing's a fast 9.
Okay.
My hands are off. It's insane how stable that unit gets you to be with just blue buff decap, and it's just like you get to coast until like fast 9.
Like
insane.
if you're running like a skirm board, for example, or like a Yasuo board, one of those melee units that cast a bunch, you're like, oh my god, I just lose.
Yeah. Ziggs 2 beats Jax 2. Ziggs 2 blue buff beats Jax 2 very consistently as long as you're on the right side. Like it's not even
Every
close.
time.
The fights aren't even close.
Every time.
It's 2 shots it. Just straight up.
Like, Jax is just a mana printer, or is just an AP printer for Ziggs.
Yeah. You know, I made a Smurf recently to like just because I wanted to not. I got to top 10 again. And I just like didn't want to sweat too much, so I made a Smurf. I played Ziggs 2. It was like third or fourth game in, so it was like mostly like bronze and silver players, right? But I literally played Ziggs 2 and won the game on Ziggs 2. I didn't roll. I won the game on Ziggs 2. Like if you don't know how to. Obviously, there's a large difference in like how people build board, but like, people didn't have weak boards necessarily. But like Ziggs 2 just kept up with all these like not great. I think there weren't great boards, but like Ziggs 2 at the end of the game was like winning round.
Yeah. I mean, here's a thought experiment, right? Like, okay, you're up against the Riven 3, right? You have a blue buff decap. Do you take Karma 2 or do you take Ziggs 2?
Ziggs every time.
Every time. 2 spell weavers, Ziggs 2. That's all I need, baby.
You know what it is? You can also run like if you want to, you can even run like a 4 spellweaver thing and make it a Vel'koz with 4 spellweaver does a shit ton of damage. It does so much damage. It's kind of gross.
I was like, if you're playing Karma, no guarantee she hits. There's no guarantee she hits the Riven.
She hits the Riven at all. Like she might be fucking all. Yeah.
Even if
It's
she
like every
does,
ult just fucking whips into the air, and Riven's just like busy like slashing through your team, and you're just like, BG, whatever, man. I'll just go next.
Isn't it so? Karma 2's base damage on her spell, I think, is 300, and Ziggs is 375, right? But with how much Karma misses, it feels like she's basically like a single target ult anyways half the time. So isn't Ziggs 2 just like way more consistent than Karma 2 99% of the time?
It's actually insane.
You can't miss but you can miss a bomb if like the worst thing is like a Kled diagros or like something dies and Ziggs just wastes all of his mana. But like he rarely wastes bombs compared to Karma. Just like something's walking at her super late. Someone's doing like the walk they do in like action movies when they're walking away from a fire. Like someone's doing that walk at Karma, and she's like, "Oh shit!" She's like throwing shit behind it. Like
okay, here's a thought experiment.
Miss.
So here's a thought experiment. What if Karma is ult was like locked on? Would you think that would make her much better, or like slightly better?
Much better.
That was much better. If her
how much better are we
wasn't
talking?
like a Pepega.
Mm-hmm.
If
it was like lock on target, it would always land.
Oh yeah, I mean like okay,
she's so much better.
It's I feel like that would be like the Yasuo buff where they like decrease his ult animations.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be even better, and she would be like broken. Because like when that change happened to Yasuo was like broken, like the best in the game, right? And if they did that to Karma after they already had nerfed or already buffed her so many times, but with her she'd be.
So I'm thinking that's like the right approach for Karma, right? To just make her spell a lock on and then balance accordingly.
Yeah.
Because then she doesn't feel like a shit unit that you're just like begging that she doesn't miss, and it's like at least like you can like rest assured that she'll always land. Just like make it a lock on like ability and just like nerf her numbers like accordingly.
Yeah, like lock on the unit, splash around it. Like exactly. I would love that so much more than her freaking. She's never gonna beat Jack. Like she never beats Jax. Yeah, right? Like it's just like that. Jax is just walking around your board. Karma's like, oh god, please stop moving. I can't kill anything.
And while they're at it, they can make it so Kayle Ascension doesn't take so fucking long.
You know what? I feel like if they did that, Kayle would just be like a monster because like if you get her there, she's still good, but you gotta get her there.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean like time she's in not like Ascension time isn't like to max Ascension, but like when she's ascending, she doesn't like stop autoing for like a second. You know what I mean? Like when she reaches like Ascension, she just
but the difference between like Kayle and like Yasuo and Yasuo and Karma is that Kayle like does like so much damage in her last ascension.
That's true.
And I don't know like how much you'd have to nerf her, like for you to like nerf for like you to like basically like take off her like 1 second ascension, like getting into her ascension in the end. You'd have to nerf her like quite a bit because she's like what if she gets there? She's like one shotting your whole board.
They can just make the ascension time a little bit. Like, I honestly find that making the ascension time longer, just make the animation not so fucking clunky. like make her stop autoing and make it longer, right? And then like you reach the max ascension later, but she doesn't just like stop autoing and die to like an assassin that's on her because she just stops playing the game.
She stopped healing. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I just like stuff like that. Like I hate it when units are locked behind like these game mechanics. Like they're locked behind like clunky mechanics rather than like what they're supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, it feels bad to play at times for sure. Like especially into like Nocturne or into Assassins or into like
I don't know
Vel'koz beam that catches you in your final ascension. You're like,
yeah, right? It's like shit.
Like, I was just about to pop off. Come on, man. Like
I don't know if you guys have seen Kayle 3. I've seen it in one game before.
She just doesn't auto the whole beginning of the fight.
No, but that unit is by far the best unit in the game, I'm pretty sure. The fact that she gets auto ascension kills. I'm pretty sure that she's probably better than Teemo 3, honestly.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, that is like if you've ever seen a Kayle 3, that is insane. The fact that you start off at full ascension and she just destroys the entire board is like, oh my goodness.
Doesn't Teemo 3 win that though? Because he just cruels her. He kills the whole board and then cruels her.
No, but if you have another unit, Kayle is gonna kill the board faster than Teemo 3 is gonna kill the board. Yeah, I think so. I think for sure Kayle is just gonna destroy everything.
I recently watched a video of like all the 5 costs from set 5 ascending like being 3-starred, and the Kayle clip was literally auto second ascension, auto second of ascension, auto second of ascension, and I'm pretty sure Teemo just kills the whole board before she actually gets to the last ascension because she's just stuck in the animation for like 4 seconds at the beginning of the fight. It's actually just fucking.
I think
it's so stupid.
I've seen it. She is that unit is like the fact that you can get Final Ascension that quick is insane.
We need
It's
to test this now.
nuts. Yeah, we should go on PvE, do like a
Test
yeah,
the
get
lobby.
3-star Kayle, 3-star.
Speaking of PvE, you guys haven't tried the like little legend update on PvE.
No, I'm so excited.
That's true,
for it.
that's
That looks
true.
so fun.
So what happened was I reached out to Jirachi because they were talking about it on Twitter about how they hate it. They despise it. They don't like it. They don't want it in the game. And I was the opposite. I was like kind of hyped. I was like, little legends walking around fucking people's boards and messing them up. That shit's hype. I want to go to Remkiv's board. I want to fucking emote on his ass all day. I'll just fucking like emote on him all fucking day just to trigger the shit out of him so he fucks up his roll down. And that's like exactly what I want to do in TFT. Thank you, more dog. That shit's hype. I hope that ships. I hope it makes it to live. I can't wait.
You know what's gonna
I'll just fuck
happen?
around on everyone's board.
Someone hits like Yasuo 2-1-2-1, and the whole lobby just goes over.
There you
and
go.
starts-
Jamming.
It sounds
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny.
Question mark king and dance.
I think there's so much potential for it to just be like I don't think it changes like the competitive integrity of TFT that much at all. Like I think like people are worried about like knowing who's scouting you, but like I feel like if let's say there are 3 people on your board, like you're not gonna like I don't know if I have the attention like the wherewithal to say like, oh shit, the guy playing Kiki is on my board. Where's the Kiki player? And then like, you know, I mean obviously their names are above them as well, but I feel like it's just a fun thing, and like like honestly, if it does make I think if it changes the competitive integrity at all, it's gonna help because I feel like knowing who's scouting your board is kind of hype. No,
It's like a mind game.
You can play it's an extra addition to the mind game.
yeah, you can pretend you're scouting someone's board by just like dancing on their board the whole round,
Yeah, and then you don't move a
for
single
them. Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like it just adds so much to it. Also, it's just fun as fuck because I'm gonna dance on someone's Yasuo 2-1-2-1. I get the whole lobby to do it. It's gonna be lit. All right. Oh man, it's already 6:30.
Yeah.
Well, we can start getting some questions if you'd like.
Sure.
So I guess the first one was from Ori, who was asking who my partner in set 6 would be, and I don't know.
We kind of went into some of the details on that, I think.
Yeah. We have Fears asking, are you worried about the highelo player base being divided once duo mode comes out? Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, no, I'm not really worried. I think solo queue will always be like, you know, the main ladder. Solo queue will always reign supreme. Like everyone's focused on solo queue. Snapshots are important. We want to make it to qualifiers. We want to make it to worlds. It will always be like at the forefront. But I think duo queue is going to be more or less something like we could just chill out and like play with a friend and like grind the ladder, have a little bit of fun. And it's just like another way to like incorporate TFT and like not have burnout. Because I feel like as a challenger player and like as a competitive player, I feel like most of the time I'm just trying to find ways to just stop myself from burning out. And that's like literally the struggle that I go through. Like I can only play like 4 to 5 hours of like really intense focused TFT before I just burn out completely and I have to take a break. I cannot play more than like 5 hours of like hard focused TFT. If I do more than that, I'll start like messing up in my gameplay. I won't play as cleanly. You'll see like lots of mistakes in my games. Like 5 hours for me is like the limit. I cannot go past that. But like that's what duo queue is for, right? Like you get into duo queue, you're like, okay, you know, you have a partner. Maybe they can call out some of your mistakes. You can build off each other. And it's like a little fun thing to do with your friends, you know?
Yeah, you know what the key, Dax, is just never sweat. Never sweat, so it looks like you're always sweating, like the Hulk. You know, I'm never sweating, which is why it looks like I'm always sweating.
Wait, isn't the Hulk always angry? So it doesn't look
yeah.
I'm always
It's
sweating.
never angry, it's the opposite. Like, okay, it's yeah. You act like you're. So what you do is you never sweat, so that like you always think you're sweating. People always think you're sweating. And then
that's literally what I do on stream. I never sweat on stream.
Exactly,
People always think like I'm sweating. I'm just literally having fun on stream. And then off stream, I like sweat my ass off. So like people come on my stream and they're like, wait, this guy's challenger, this guy's 1.2 KLP, this guy's for funning. What the fuck is he doing? I was like, oh, you don't know. It's fine. It is what it is. But like on stream for me, TFT is more like of a for fun thing, and then off stream is like where I grind my ass off.
Well, I say agreed, but on stream TFT is fun for me, and then I get off stream and I play Tales of Arise for like 8 hours.
Oh, you play Tales of Arise!
It's so fucking good.
Me too. I just started. I literally just bought the game yesterday.
It's so fucking good.
Is there a co-op mode? Is there?
No, there
Coco?
isn't. There isn't. I wish there was.
BG.
Yeah, we can definitely fangirl over it though. I'm done. I'll be
I
in
need
the
to get on
DM.
this train.
We're
I
in
need
the
to
DM.
that was telling me I got to get on it.
Yeah, you have to, Kevin. It's
I
so
bought it
fucking-
yesterday.
It's
Yeah, I
so
want to play
good.
for sure.
Like,
Have you
okay.
played any of the other Tales games? On a tangent.
Yeah.
Have you played any
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Tales
yeah,
games? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like Tales of. Weirdly enough, one of my favorite games of all time is Tales of Hearts R for the PS Vita, which is
Oh,
like
mine's Symphonia.
Symphonia is really. I started Symphonia on stream.
And
I played
Exilia,
Abyss is
yeah.
amazing as well. I
Abyss
played
is
the
good.
shit out of Abyss. But yeah, I'm a big Tales.
I
fan.
don't want to pull the conversation too off topic, but yeah, that's
Yeah, basically just buy the game.
yeah. Buy the game.
Sponsored,
Yeah.
not sponsored, not
not
sponsored.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say I'm not too worried about the community being divided either. I think it's just gonna be relaxing. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's like another mode to cool down with. So, yeah. Any thought? Do you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just fun, right? Like being able to play with your friends. Like,
Yeah.
hey, come on now, like that's so fun. It's just like I mean, if you're serious about TFT, you're gonna be playing solo queue, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be
Yeah, for sure.
tryharding on the ladder. Like,
Mhm.
you know, people are always gonna prioritize that over duos, and then duos is just like, oh, that's like another thing. It's more content. It's more like more fun. There's like it's a different way to approach the game. Like I think it's a good sort of improvement over hyperroll, for example, as an alternative
Oh,
game
yeah,
mode,
for
right? Because like
yeah.
being able to play with other people is always gonna always gonna be more entertaining, more better for your mental health, better for like how enjoying the game, right? Like unless you
Yeah.
don't have friends, unless you're like you've literally never
Oh
interacted
no!
with
Come
anybody.
on, Mr. Robin, Kevin. Why are you calling them out? You're calling them out. You're
that.
calling them out. You're like, unless you don't have friends, and everyone at home is just like,
Yeah, I feel like I'm looking forward so much to the content that duo mode will make, because I think TFT is super lacking in content creation right now, just in general.
absolutely.
And then
100%.
I'm now after this podcast, I'm so excited to see these massive Giga Chad duo queue players just like come out,
yeah.
with their homies on ladder, like just absolute monsters of duo queue just pop out.
Mhm.
I'm so ready. It's
Yeah.
like it's like you ever play Pokemon Emerald, and like there's the two trainer, there's like the set
Oh, the
gym,
two little kids.
yeah,
duo-
the two little second kids. Every single
Hey,
duo queue
Liza.
is like that at the top of ladder. It's gonna be fucking
Oh,
sick.
man.
It's gonna be so sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's like I just remember like when I was first getting a TFT, I was trying to convince my friend, like I was like, okay, because we used to play Underlords together, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm switching over to TFT. Underlords is garbage. This game is ass. I'm not playing that game ever again. Let's go play TFT. And he was like, no, I'm not playing TFT until they have a duos mode. Like, why would I do that? I'm like, oh my god, they're never gonna add a duos mode because it's Riot Games and they're never gonna do anything ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like TFT for the longest time has been like Riot Games is like, like their like stepson that they don't really care about. It's like in the closet somewhere. Like, yeah, I've got a son. He's somewhere around here. Yeah, whatever. It always feels like we get shafted quite a bit, but I feel like going into
We're
set
Harry
6,
Potter
maybe
under
things
the
will
stairs.
start changing. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
maybe we start getting a little bit more recognition.
more tournaments. Ooh, any thoughts?
I'm so excited to play another tournament.
Mhm.
I haven't played anything since the last Challenger series. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I'm ready to start sweating again, because I have been full content creation for a while now, and I want to sweat a bit.
There's nothing quite like the tournament adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I'm popping off. Like I'm fucking. Oh my goodness! It's
Dude,
if you
okay.
haven't experienced it, it's like, oh my goodness.
I literally, so the last game of the Challenger series that I played, I was 1 point off of getting to the next day at the end, but I ended up being 1 point off, but maybe I lost tiebreaker or something, but I needed to win the last game to have a chance, and when I won the last game, and I literally have not popped off that hard in my fucking life. And I won the game, and I just like shit my drawers. It was awesome. Yeah. It's the thing is, I played a lot of Smash competitively in Pokemon before I started playing TFT. So I'm not used to having like tournament adrenaline and stuff. But that was like the only time TFT so far for me that I've like really felt the same thing as like, you and like the other guy like 100% on your last stock, and then you like manage to get like a random ass back air on them after you both spaghetti for 5 minutes or for like 30 seconds. and you just stand up and you pop the fuck off. You know what I mean? Like moves like that are so cool, and they don't come from ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's something you can only get from competition. Like
absolutely.
Everyone is high level. Everyone is trying their asses off, and you beat them, and you're like, I'm just popping. I'm better than you. Let's go.
Yeah. Which is a conversation that I think a lot of like NA players get into, is like they start like basing like the best players in TFT based off ladder solely. And I think Ramcap doesn't agree with this, and I don't agree with this either. Is like ladder isn't like the sole, like it isn't like the defining factor of what makes like a really good or like one of the best TFT players when it comes to like playing TFT. Because what ladder mostly is just you like most of the time just shitting on people like worse than you. But when you're put into like an environment where everyone is of the same like caliber, everyone's like of the same level, you get to see a different side of TFT. A lot of people are playing more aggressive. Everyone is sweating every round and positioning and slamming every single item that they can, just trying to scrape their way to the top 4. And it feels like you're seeing like a different game on ladder and in tournaments. It's a completely different game. It's not the same. You don't get to greet as much. You don't get to play like freely as much. You get mega punished for even the slightest mistake. Like, oh, you didn't pick up that Kled in stage 1? Well, here's 2 Kleds in shop. Well, you got a mega punish. You don't get a Kled 2. You don't get a 2-star for the entirety of stage 2. Well, you're going to take like, you're going to be 60 HP by Krugs.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, I'm fucked.
I think when everyone's that good, you can feel the variance a lot more, but you can also feel the mistakes so much more. And beyond that, I think the biggest thing that like I think a player that's good on ladder will be good in tournament for the most part. Like I don't think like a ladder player is necessarily gonna be like someone.
I'll probably have to disagree with you on that one.
That's fair.
When it comes to ladder, I feel like a lot of people don't get punished on ladder. A lot of like ladder played does not get punished.
But I don't think you're gonna get to like top 10 or rank 1 without being able to do like decently in a tournament. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you'll do okay. You'll at least do okay. You won't necessarily win, but you'll do okay. Right? Like you won't put on like a super shitty performance, I guess. One of the biggest things switching over, I think, and one of the reasons why a lot of players like, I think one of the biggest things, I don't think it's like a playstyle thing necessarily why people struggle in tournament and not in ladder. I think it's a lot of a mindset thing, like a nerves thing, and like a how to play under pressure and how to get used to like tournament lobbies.
Absolutely.
I think anyone that's really good at TFT will be very good at adapting, right? Because all the different metas we have, all the different like board states, all the different decisions you have to make, everyone's going to be really good at adapting at top level TFT. But it's like adapting to a tournament lobby, but also having to adapt to that while you have all the nerves and all the like that's the hard part about tournament. I feel like
for sure.
The mindset can be so difficult. So it's fun as fuck though. It's so
Rapid, you've been there. You've been at Worlds. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Okay.
How does it feel?
It's crazy. You play with you get in the lobby with 8 lanes jaywalking. He has like the strongest board you've ever imagined.
Yeah, you got 6 cultists every game. 6 cultists every game at stage 3.
Freaking out his ass every single round. Like you're like, oh my god. But like the thing is, like in that final, every single one of those players can do exactly the same thing, right? Like there were people hitting Talon 3, Morg 3. Like there was one game, right? Yatsuhashi, the Japanese representative, hit Talon 3, Morg 3. I had like 9. I was like barely scraping by. I had 9 D soul, right? And then I die, and then fucking pot a ball. He rolled. He's like, oh shit, his time. Gets Ace soul 3, beats Talon 3, Morg 3. Like it's. I think it's really a different game because, like, one thing that I think I do that a lot of players, at least a lot of low players, don't really think about is like how to pressure a lobby and how to like fully punish a lobby and how to make people like how to punish people to the maximum to their mistakes. When I was at Worlds, that was like when I was going into Worlds, that was what I was thinking about the most, is how to fuck these people over as much as I could for like being greedy and for like not doing the correct thing, right? And like a lot of the times, like I think NA even now is somewhat bad at doing that. It's like really punishing people. And I think at least with like Korea and even China starting to play more aggressive, right? This is a very important thing. It's like when you get more people in the lobby that start playing aggressively like that, start punishing you for like being greedy and not spending any of your gold. Like there are people that'll level to 3-1 and not roll any gold. And I'm like, what? Why are you not rolling gold, right? You're pushing for streak. You want to make a strong board, just roll once, hit a pair, do something, right? Like people don't, even at top of Challenger, they don't do that, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you're playing against players that really know how to push their advantage, you are like, if that's the general tempo of the lobby, if everyone's doing that, it's a crazy game, right?
Speaking about punishing, like yesterday, I was actually like hard sweating some games yesterday because I wanted to like familiarize myself with the patch because I wanted to help some of my friends. Is that what happened with me in one game is that I noticed that there was 4 people playing Draconic in my lobby, and at 3-2, I was win streaking and I leveled to 7. And I was just like, fuck, I'm sending it to 7 at 3-2, and it just hit everyone for 7 units of damage every single turn. And then everyone was like sweating. They're like, holy shit, oh no, this guy's about to drop me for 7 units of damage. Like, I'm struggling. Like, and like by stage 4-5, like 3 people already dead. Just like, you really need to like, start punishing people for like greeting their gold or playing Draconic boards. Like, what the fuck? You're playing a Draconic board? All right, dude, I'm gonna like roll at 3-2. I'm gonna roll your ass. Like, I'm not letting you play that shit. It's just like, you really need to start punishing people for playing like weak boards.
Yeah, I think one of the best things is that if like you're the strongest in the lobby, let's say you roll down 3-2, you're the strongest, you start positioning for the weakest player in your rotation. So that you hit them for like 20. And really, you don't like because you really play for you position for your worst matchups. But if you know you're beating everyone anyways, like there's a guy playing Draconic, you position 10-0 his ass, and like you just
okay. There's one time during set 4.5 in houses. This was with like the regional finalists for NA, right? This was Solus was spamming Fortune, right? And okay, no blame to non-Tom, but I was because Solus was 1 life, ready for Fortune cash out, but his board was like super weak. I look over because I was tracking who Solus was fighting, right? I was like either me or non-Tom or some other person, and I was like, I straight level to 8 on 4-1 to kill Solus, to kill him. I was like, I'm gonna destroy him here. Right? And I look over at non-Tom's board. It was the weakest thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh my god, this guy's 50 gold. He hasn't rolled anything. His board is ass. Like, if you're in that position, if I was in that position, I would roll all of my gold, 2-star everything, put my items on everything, and kill Solus. Like, kill him right there, right? Don't let him play the game.
Very passionate. You're very passionate about killing him right then and there. There's a lot of passion in your voice.
That's the thing, right? Like, you got to do that. You can't let people let people get away with that, right? Like, but sometimes people are like stuck in their own head. They're stuck in their own game. Like, they're like, oh,
everyone's like thinking about their own game. They don't really. Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree.
You have so much power in a game of TFT. I talk about this a lot, but you have so much like control over so many aspects of TFT that you don't like. Getting better at TFT is understanding more. Like, I think every time you get better at TFT, it's because you realize you have the control over something in the game that you didn't realize you had control over before, right? Like, you have control over the Draconic guy dying, potentially. Like, if they're in your queue, unless you're just unlucky, you don't hit them ever, right?
Which you have control over the Nocturne 3 guy hitting, or the Draven 3 guy hitting, or the Yasuo 3 player hitting. Like, I started doing this recently because I noticed Korea doing this. I started watching Korean players and Chinese players doing this. They literally type in chat, guys, hold Yasuos, hold Nocturnes. They literally do this. And I'm like, why the fuck don't we do this? And I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing this every game. I see someone going for Nocturne 3, fuck it, I'm holding every Nocturne. Ramkev, yo, man, can you hold every single Nocturne? Yo, dude, level 8, yo, can you hold every single Nocturne? Just like, fucking hold all the Nocturnes. I'm not letting this fucker hit. I don't want to lose to a Nocturne 3. It's just like you really do have a lot of control over everyone in the lobby. And like, once you start to realize how much control you have over the game and how much like collectively everyone has control, like their own portion of control over the game, and how you can like sway the tides, not by like playing something directly, but like by even like holding units or like leveling up to kill someone harder, is like can change the tides of war. Like, you literally can like, top 4 just because you held like 2 Nocturnes on your bench. And it's just like, GG, the Nocturne player went 8th. It's like, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think one of the only things that can like tilt me at all anymore, like once you realize all that, like I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't get tilted if I make a mistake. I get tilted if like I'm not gonna get tilted by a mistake. I will a little bit, but like I won't get like, I don't play worse if I made a mistake. Like, I play worse if like that's wrong. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Like, I don't get upset at like, how am I trying to say this?
Punished for bad gameplay.
Like, if I make a mistake and I fuck up, I'm like, like, it's not gonna. I don't get tilted, I guess, in general, but like it's not gonna tell me, it's not gonna make me like, I don't know. I think if you realize that there's so much in control of your game that when stuff goes wrong, like you can take it more, like you can learn from it, right? Like you can learn from it. You don't get tilted by you. Like, instead, you internalize it. And then there's also stuff like, you know, like matchmaking. I think is one of the things that like gets to me kind of. If like, you know, you play the Sin player, someone dies, you play the Sin player again immediately. That shit gets to me a little bit. But like, I think there's so much of TFT.
We should talk about matchmaking. Actually, we should talk about matchmaking. How do you feel about matchmaking right now?
I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, sometimes it feels so fucking bad, just because like I think it depends on the set and like how comps in the set function. Because like if you're playing and the classic example is if you have like a Karma player in your queue and you have a Nocturne player in your queue, right? Like those are two completely different positionings, and you position for one, you get the other, you just fucking die. But that's TFT, right? Like I don't think it should never be completely random. But I don't know how narrowed down you can really make it before it becomes too. I don't know.
So
I just don't know.
Speaking on matchmaking, Mordog actually released a tweet recently talking about how in the future they would like to change matchmaking in TFT to be different than what it is right now. And I'm assuming by different he means more random. Because basically we've figured out the formula of how matchmaking works, and Mordog doesn't like that. He doesn't like that we figured it out and we know what's like going to happen, and we can position for these 3 different people every single round. So they want to randomize it. They want to make it feel more random. How do you feel about that, Mr. Ramkev?
So, like, in my opinion, I think right now it's good. Like, being able to track matchups and being able to position for at least not a specific player, but to be able to organize your board in a way that it can sort of address. Because if I have the position for 7 players in the lobby, that's not happening. That's not. I can't position for one person who put their fucking Vel'koz on the right corner and one that had their Vel'koz on the other corner, right? Like, what? You want me to position for both of those, huh? Like that doesn't make sense, right? Like you need to have some kind of like non-variant. There can be variability, but there has to be some way for me to like at least address my board for specific people. Because if there are 8 players in the game, if it's fully random and I have to position for the other 7 players in the game, it's not possible, right? You can't move your board anymore, right? Like, why would you move your board anymore? Because you could play any random person in the lobby. Like,
well, I think the thing is he wants you to like generally position your board in the best way possible for everyone. But I think that
it lowers the skill cap for sure.
Yeah, it definitely lowers the skill. Because like. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to position into 2 Vel'koz beams with like 6 players. Like what do you want me to do? Like you want me to find the optimal? Like I don't think there should be like I don't like the idea that there's anything optimal in TFT. That there's something that you have to do. Like if I have the position fully for 7 people, there is an optimal positioning. Theoretically speaking, right? There's an optimal positioning that you should always do every single time because you could be matched up against anybody. So you have to position for everyone in a very specific way, right? Or you can just pray that you 1/7 chance one random person in the lobby and be like, oh, did I win this shitty coin flip? No. Okay. You know, like, did I win my 1/7 coin flip? No. Okay, never mind. Like being
like,
able
to the Sin player every round and they just never hit them.
yeah. Like if you really wanted to make that viable, you would have to actually have units in the game that aren't very position dependent.
If you
you couldn't have a unit like
cap of the game. Like naturally just lowers the skill cap of the game.
You couldn't have a unit like Lucian, you couldn't have a unit like Nocturne, you couldn't have a unit like Vel'koz, you couldn't have a unit like, you know, Diana, Viego, any sins out the window, right?
Yeah.
Any sins, any mage that has AoE and a beam out the window, right?
Yeah.
Like there couldn't be any Victors. Victor wouldn't like that would not be a thing, right? Like there couldn't be Talon. Like think about all the units in TFT. You'd have to eliminate like 2/3 of them, right? There couldn't be Aatrox. There couldn't be like Sedge. Like you, unless you want to just fucking stick Sedge in the middle of the board, which you could do, by the way. Certain
you could get over that.
Yeah, so then you might be able to get it. Sedge, yeah,
Sedge covers the
but-
middle, and then a shot just hooks him in if they corner.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
the checkmate.
just think of all of the units, all of the positioning, just out the window, right? Like it would like all of that sort of board specific geometric type thing. You can't do that anymore. You actually just can't, right? I don't think it would be possible.
Yep, I totally agree. It's worrying that they want to change it, but I think if they get to the point where they start talking about it, they'll quickly realize that like at least making it more random is not the way to go. Because it would be an issue. It'd be a very large issue.
Like, oh my goodness! Like, think about it. You have Lucian here. You have Vel'koz here. I could frontline. you wouldn't have frontline Draven, right? Because you could literally fight the Aphelios player who stuck their fucking Aphelios.
Yeah.
Draven, and you're like, oh, I lose now because I lost a 1/7 coin flip. Okay, like. You know, if I see the Aphelios player in my rotation, if I'm playing Draven, I'm not gonna stick my Draven in front of the Aphelios, right? Like, but if you're, you know, it's so much like, it's so much more like you can't do it if there's 7 people, right? Like, there are too many boards.
Yeah. I low-key think that matchmaking is already like the most RNG heavy aspect of the game. Like, particularly going into late game, like you can like play around not hitting your unit. You can play around like you can like some items to make it so you can control that a lot. You can definitely like control matchmaking to a degree, right? Or you can control like how badly it affects you by positioning for multiple people at once, like optimal positioning for 3 people. But then you get those situations where it's like a Sin player and a Karma player, and like you literally can't. Like there's no positioning where you play for. And you can you might be able to like frontline something, but you know there's some matches like some things are like you just can't play for all of them. Like you'll get shit on by someone, and then you get shit on by them because you get the 1 and 3, and it's just like it's so, like if you make it any more RNG than it is, it's so funky. I feel like.
Absolutely, I hard agree. I mean, I was actually going to a more for fun topic. I was actually thinking today with friends and yesterday about like the next set mechanic augments and like how like they're gonna actually like change the game quite a bit. Like I was just like brainstorming like what kind of augments would like be really cool in TFT, and like I just wanted to like gauge your guys' opinion, what you think about augments in the next like set mechanic. How do you feel like it's going to change the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw that one augment where you can see the next player. That'd be crack.
Yeah,
I
think that's gonna suck for streamers though, right? Because if you take that augment and you're a streamer, do we just get stream sniped by all the 7 people in your lobby?
True. I wonder if they know too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, well, they know I'm a streamer, and like I picked that augment, and it's like I'm fucked. They know who I'm facing every round. It's just doomed.
I guess. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
maybe you can use like you could just like cover it like on your OBS, like maybe.
Oh, that's true. That's
the top of the screen.
Just block the
like what we do with like like what competitive League of Legends players do with their minimap. Yeah, we could just like cover it. Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Very doable. Very doable.
That's such an advantage, though, knowing who you're playing. That's actually such a crazy fucking advantage.
But like, there's a lot of counterplay there too. Like, if you notice someone's like positioning against you, then you're like, wait, does he know that he's gonna fight me? So like, you just like deposition, you change your position a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious how
you do. You test the water
mind games.
You're like, oh, did they move?
Also, we are at. They don't know how later down, so we are gonna have to start wrapping up here. We can quickly answer one last question. We'll make it a little brief, but this is going for Dax actually. Beppo asked, "Do you ever commit to playing Auction Chaos / Legendaries at 2-1? What do you do if things go south? And you don't have the health / econ to get there." And the resident 5-cost wizard.
That's a great question. I mean, you'll notice that most games I start off, I'm always thinking about like which 5-costs I'm going to be like playing towards. So I generally like slam items towards this particular unit that I'm playing. Either it's like Heimer or Akshan or Teemo or like even Gwen. Like if I saw a blue buff and I have a Gunblade, I'm playing Gwen from that angle. And like I generally like set myself up in a way to play for that 5-cost if I get it. And if I don't, like there's always like another 4-cost unit that I can use with those items, and I'm still top 4ing. So like best case scenario, I get the Akshan 2 and I win the lobby. Worst case scenario, I have an Aphelios 2 and maybe I go 4th. And so usually that's how I like set up my game in stage 2. So it's not like, oh, I'm 100%, I'm playing Kayle this game. This is a Kayle game. If I don't get Kayle, I'm 8th. No, that's not how I approach the game. It's just like, this is what like I'm generally like playing towards. And like, if I don't hit it, it's fine. I have these other options. And I just like, wiggle my way through to the carry that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'd say like stage 2, if you have like an opener that's like obviously super win streak, right? Like I feel like you can't even like you can play towards a 5. Like in that situation, you can play towards a 5 cost, right? I think it's at least so how I do it. Like if I'm win like at stage 2, I'll never say like it's an auction game, right? Like, I'll say like it's maybe like a slam Deathblade, flex like Aphelios auction, depending on if I can keep streaking. Like I'm never you should never put yourself in a position stage 2-1 like fuck it. If I don't hit auction here, I'm fucked.
You're just going eighth. Like you're like, you don't do that. Yeah.
I don't even know how you
generally
do that,
it's like I want to play towards auction and this is what I'm gonna slam and this is what I'm gonna play and if I don't hit it, fine, I can lean towards like Aphelios.
Getting to 5 cost is very it's so tempo heavy that you just really need to like feel it out. You have to feel the position and understand. Like you should never 2-1, you should never make the decision. So, Kevin thanks.
What's your input, Kevin?
I'm basically I mean, I don't really decide what comp I try to play until like it actually depends. Cause I basically
oh dear.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah,
you usually slam items thinking like where you're gonna go. Like when you slam a Shojin at 2-1, you know you want to play Vel'koz.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's sort of like I slam items just for the units that I see in front of me.
You build a line. You basically you're like putting railroad tracks down for yourself, right? I like to think of TFT as like a 1-man alley oop. You set yourself up for success.
Yeah, if you have Rage Blade, D Blade, you know, like those are just good items. You know, you get Aphelios, okay. If I get, you know, I mean, before I was like, if I get Kayle at 7, okay. You know, if I got Akshan, okay. You know, like, obviously, like, I think there are some players, I think, like, in set 5, for example, some players literally only just played for Kayle, right? They would slam, like, Rage Blade. I forget
people play Kayle, like, 20 out of 20.
Yeah, and I think that kind of play style, if you're literally just being like, I'll just slam specifically for this unit.
Yeah, that feels like a master player mindset. No, it feels like
it's very.
I don't know. I feel like you can never make it to challenger playing like that.
Because like there are some games you're gonna go 8th. I mean, you can make it. I think it's very viable to like get low challenger maybe, but like
you're never gonna climb to like top 10 range.
Yeah, because like
you can't go not at all. Never.
You can't going 8th. Going 8th in tourney, for example. That's a
game over.
That's a no-go.
Game over.
Yeah,
right? You can't go 8th in tourney. You can't go 8th on ladder if you're high challenger, right? Because if you go 8th, you lose.
You're minus 70. Like I get minus 70 if I go 8th, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I just feel like terrible about it. Like if I'm in a position where I'm going 8th, my game plan is to not go 8th. Like my game plan is to just roll it down, play for 7th.
Yeah.
I do not want to get that. Yeah, it's just like you don't want to go 8th at any point in the game. You just want to play your strongest board, play what's in front of you. I really like the play what's in front of you. That should be like a quote that you wear on a t-shirt. Like play what's in front of you. Just like slam your items, play the units that you got, tier 2-star those units, and just play what's in front of you. And it's just like don't be like overthinking about like, oh, where am I gonna be like stage 3 or stage 4 or stage 5? Like, oh, I want to play Jax this game. It's like, no, just like play whatever the fuck you have right now. And then just
have an idea of what you want to do. You have an idea like what you want to do, like set yourself up for success, but don't say like setting yourself up for success isn't saying if I don't hit this unit, I'm gonna go 8th. Yeah. All right. Well, that's probably about all the time we have because we are actually running quite a bit over anyways. But that was fun. That was fun.
A long one today. Yeah.
Absolutely, a lot of fun. You know, I would love to be here when like Jirachi's back as well, because like I have like a lot of things that I want to discuss with him. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I ideally will have some people on multiple times. And I mean, particularly when Jirachi's not able to make it, we were thinking that you'd be a great like, you know, like just
you and Alex Sam can rebuild your relationship.
On this will be a dating show again. Turn it into a dating show.
Well, on that note, we're gonna end in just a minute here. Thank you so much again, Dax, for coming on. That was super fun. Kevin, thank you for being here as always.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Appies, for being a fantastic host.
You as well. And Dax is basically a host. Fuck yeah, let's go, Dax. And shout out to Jirachi. Good luck at their concert tonight. They're a great trombone player. So yeah. Until next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Peace.
So